You're listening to Kempire here on the Kempire Radio Network.
Welcome back to the Kempire channel, your number one source for pop culture news and music, entertainment, reality TV, and so much more. Come on in. This is our weekly recap of the Real Housewives of Potomac, but we are also celebrating the life, legacy, and birthday of Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. Come on, one time for Dr. King and his legacy. Woo. Yes, come on now. There is no way that we could do this live today without talking about his legacy, especially with the things that are happening in this country, from ICE to this current administration when it comes to healthcare, when it comes to social justice. There is no way that we could start this live, especially when we're talking about a Black reality show. There's no way that we could do this live today without celebrating his birthday and the work of Coretta Scott King in making this a federal holiday as well. So shout out to all of you that are watching and those of you that are watching the replay. You know, every year, if I remember, because, you know, I'm getting older, I always try to remember Dr. King. I played Dr. King in my 4th grade play. I still have the fan mail. That was like my first time ever getting fan mail. And I played Dr. King and I read his speech, I Have a Dream. Today, though, because of the recent news with Maria Corina Machado giving her Nobel Peace Prize to Donald Trump, let's honor another Nobel Peace Prize winner, Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. I want to share an adapted reading inspired by Dr. Martin Luther King Jr.'s Nobel Peace Prize acceptance speech, because his words still speak directly to where we are today. So tonight, this is Dr. King. This is an adapted version. Tonight, I accept this honor with deep humility and with an unshakable faith in humanity's future. I do not receive it as a personal achievement, but as a tribute to a movement rooted in dignity, sacrifice, and the belief that justice can rise even in the face of cruelty and violence. I stand here believing the truth, though wounded, is never defeated, and that love, unconditional and unarmed, remains the most powerful force available to humankind. History may twist and turn, but justice has a way of standing back up. Around the world, people are still suffering from poverty, racism, war, and systems that deny their humanity. And yet, even in the darkest hours, I remain convinced that despair is not the final word. Hope is. I believe we can choose cooperation over conflict. I believe we can replace bitterness with understanding. And I believe that peace is not merely the absence of tension, but the presence of justice. This faith is not naive optimism. It is a disciplined belief that humanity is capable of moral growth, that we can learn to lay down the weapons of hate and lift up the tools of compassion. So I accept this prize as a reminder that every generation is challenged to decide whether it will walk the path of violence or the road of love. And I remain confident, even now, that love will have the final victory. Love will have the final victory. It's so incredible the impact that Dr. King continues to have in 2026. So if you have been feeling hopeless, I hope that excerpt and moment from his Nobel Peace Prize speech invigorates all of us on this day. Happy birthday, Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. All right, let's get to the mess. Dr. King would understand. We need a break. We need a break, right, Dr. King? Dr. King would understand. So may he rest in peace, and thank you to everyone, including his children, that continue to keep his legacy alive, right? Hey, Lonnie. What's going on, Lonnie? Shout out to everyone in the chat. We appreciate you guys being here. I'm your boy, TheKempire, and we are going to get into Real Housewives of Potomac. All right, so everyone's we're going to get a full house today because some of you are off from work. Shout out to those of you, and if you're not off from work, look at your employers with the screw face. Okay. Okay. Wait, Lene on Twitch says, did Portia post? Laughing out loud. Hashtag Nessie. She gonna block you next, okay? Oh, okay. Wait, Men My Baby says, not Kempire looking good on my 55-inch TV. You gotta do TV? Okay. I was thinking if I should get a bigger TV, but I feel like a 55-inch is like the perfect size. I feel like anything above that is just a little too much, right? I don't know, but in part of me is like, that must be the male part of me, just like, I want something big. I'm not going to, though. I think it's the perfect size for the wall that I have in the space. Angel says, I already did Kempire. Shame on my job. Oh, you're working? Hey, Lonnie says, yes, I'm off from work. So excited to watch you live. Hey, Lonnie. Lonnie's one of our OGs. Okay. Rahina is off from work too. Hey, Rahina. She says, yes, I'm off and present. Love it. Love it. Love it. If you're part of the replay crew, be sure to let us know. Let us know your thoughts as well. Toya says, go 65-inch. Oh, wait a second. Kalani says, I love my 65-inch. Oh, here come 5 Wisdom. 5 Wisdom says, do 75. First of all, I don't even think you guys realize when I got this particular television in my living room, and it's not the frame, I did a lot of research on it, and I'm very happy with it. But I was thinking going a little bit bigger, just a little bit bigger. Maybe a 65 would be a good in between. We'll see. We'll see. I really do not need to get another thing right now. Okay? It's about to be tax time. Okay? It's about to be tax time. All right. Just for those of you. Don't forget, guys, we will be live at 3 p.m. Eastern to recap Married to Medicine, probably like 3:15, because you know how it goes today, right? But let's get into Real Housewives of Potomac. How would you guys rate this week's episode from 1 to 10? I have to give it a bad rating, not because it didn't keep me engaged, mostly because I did not like to see the pile-on. And Stacey, I'm looking at you as a hypocrite because you didn't like when they piled on you. And now that they're not piling on you, you're sort of piling on Angel. And look, I'm not saying that Angel was a perfect host because in all fairness, let's break the fourth wall, because I don't know why some of y'all think that Angel booked this Airbnb or that this wasn't a plot that production set up. Because I already told you, according to my sources, they had a lackluster season. I told you, don't be surprised if you see Gizelle and Ashley trying to produce moments. For me, all that we're seeing, even the Mauricio of it all, they were trying to spice up the season. And this is why fans are like, I don't know, I'm not feeling this season. Or it's just not, it's not invoking the same that it used to invoke in me. It's because they had a lackluster season. They knew while filming, production allegedly was bored too. They were just like, there's nothing happening. So much so, you saw that scene that Gizelle filmed. We're filming Gizelle getting her ears pierced. You're not telling me that they had a fantastic season. Jan says, you called it, because my sources are sourcing. They had a lackluster season, so this is why they're harping on Angel. Why they at the beginning of the season they were harping on Stacey. I wish Stacey would have spoke up more and really aligned herself in that moment. And this is why I say it's important not to be a stan of anyone or team whoever, because when someone's right, you'll say they're right. When someone's wrong, you'll say they're wrong. I feel like Stacey in that particular moment should have said, like, come on, guys, let's not beat up on her. Yes. I wish she would have reached out to us when we had no water and things like that, because she should have reached out to them. She wasn't reaching out to them. She was reaching out to Jazzy. And that's the one thing I could have been like, you know what? You could have covered yourself. We understand you didn't book the Airbnb. And there's something about this Four Seasons situation, because during the after show, hence why I was late, during the after show, and during the show, you could see that Angel was trying to be like, well, I've gotten you new accommodations. So production, she probably worked with production to get them booked at the Four Seasons. But Gizelle wants to take credit for it, the same way she's trying to take credit for the Nevis trip. Gizelle did not pay for that trip. Gizelle did not plan that Nevis trip. People. Gizelle did not plan this Nevis trip. She's like, she's like, I'm a Four Seasons girl. Where? We don't know that you're a Four Seasons girl. Maybe that's where she spends her money. Because it's definitely not on that house. It's definitely not on that wardrobe looking like a Bama. I was like, what the hell does she have on? Like, I'm always still a little shocked at Gizelle's fashions. And I'm just like, girl, you did not. And I hate the fact that production continues and Bravo continues to play into this whole narrative like we're not filming a show. The audience is not stupid. The audience is not stupid. We know that production booked this, but the harping on, I think what they should have harped on more, why didn't you check in on us? Because then I could understand. Why didn't you check in on us? Because that's the least she could do. You're hosting this trip. You could check in on them. But when she's trying to come to you guys and apologize, you all are beating down on her. And the reason why I'm coming down on Stacey is because, Stacey, we defended you at the beginning of the season with them coming down on you. So it would have really been nice to see Stacey in that moment like, Angel, I appreciate the apology. I just wish you would have checked in on us. Because I do agree with Wendy when Wendy says later, like, you could have had us come to your home to take showers and do things like that. Something like that I could understand, especially in a friend group, okay? Leah says, leave Alabama alone. I'm sorry. That's exactly what I got from her. Okay. That's exactly what I got from her. All right, guys, keep liking the video if you haven't already. We already have 1,000 people in the building for our Real Housewives of Potomac recap. I already jumped ahead, but let's get to the next day. This is day 2 of their Colorado trip. The ladies are in their respective cars and they're having different conversations. Okay. So Angel says that she didn't like Monique's comments about Bobby watching their kids. I don't understand this conversation. Monique, you've lost me this season, but Monique is doing what Monique does. She wants to present like she's all love and light and peace and things like that, but she is just as messy as the rest of them. She is just as calculated as the rest of them. I've been telling you guys this. I'm usually 9 times out of 10, I'm right. And it seems to be this week, Kempire is right a lot, okay? Thank you for gifting memberships. Be sure to thank, I didn't get to see who gifted the membership, but be sure to thank them, okay? Oh, Tress says, I live in Alabama and I agree. Kempire. No, shout out to Alabama. I didn't really mean it to take at you guys like that, but come on. It's like, what is going on? All right. So Angel says she doesn't like the fact that Monique is talking about her marriage because she doesn't really know her marriage. And I would have to say, it's one thing if you're best friends with someone. If Kiana said it, I would believe Kiana more than a Monique who's just seeing an inkling of this relationship. You haven't been around her enough just because it might be reminding you of things about yourself. Girl, I would never make a comment like that. And if you're going to make that comment to her. And now you're mad at Jazzy for bringing that information back to her. First of all, Jazzy is going to do whatever she needs to do to secure her spot on the show. That's exactly what she's going to do. And that's how I take some of their behaviors. It's not that they're bad friends or messy friends. Yes, they probably are. However, I'm taking these moments as them trying to earn their flute. That's how I'm taking it. Okay? Because some of these ladies did not. Exactly. Queen Lizzie says Bama is DMV slang. Y'all been hanging around y'all too damn long. I got that from y'all. Okay. But it's okay. Calm down, everybody. All right. The next level girl says, where was Kiana? Kiana did chime in a little bit, and I think it was on Angela Yee's interview with Angel that she said that her and Kiana agreed to sort of stay out of each other's stuff with the other ladies. So I think that's part of the reason why we're not seeing Kiana step up a lot. We do see her chime in a little bit. But honestly, the minute I see my real life friend being attacked on the private jet, I would have said something. I would have said, I don't care, whatever we decided on, that goes out the window for my real friend and someone that I ride for. Okay, Miss Mellon Magic says Kay didn't do enough. I feel like in that moment, I've been like, guys, come on. We apologize. We should have, you're beating down on her. Because the minute Kiana and Tia apologizes to them, they're like all forgiveness. But they were just so dead set on being mad at Angel. Angel, the tides are turning, girl. You know, people didn't love you in the beginning, including myself. But the tides are turning for you. So Angel says that Monique is crossing a boundary and she doesn't know her like that. I agree. Don't be talking about my marriage. Do not talk about my marriage, and especially if we don't know. First of all, I have some really close friends and that are married, and I wouldn't be talking about their marriage, especially on national television. Even if I know stuff, I would not be talking about their marriage on national television. I don't even talk about my friends' marriages to other people. I might talk about it to myself. I'm like, okay, unless there's another mutual friend that observes it as well. That's one thing, but Monique, you don't know their marriage to make this assessment. Such a stanky assessment. That's like putting bad juju on someone's marriage. It's like you want to be miserable like Gizelle. I'm not going to put that bad juju out on someone's relationship. If anything, I'll wait till the second season where we've gotten a little bit closer, and I'm like, I'm noticing some things in the marriage, and I just want to check in with you. I didn't believe that Monique was coming from a genuine, authentic, compassionate place. I don't believe that. I don't. I really don't. Sorry, Monique. I don't believe that you were coming from a genuine, compassionate place. It seems like you were trying to produce along with everyone else. You wanted to secure your spot as well. I know what she's going to say. My spot was secure. Is it for next season? Because honestly, I could care less about you coming back next season. You came back. You wanted to clean up what Carlos did to your image on Love and Marriage DC. I don't know if it has. Has it, y'all? For those that watch Love and Marriage DC, has it cleaned it up? I don't know. I don't think so. Okay. So Stacey says that she doesn't believe that Angel's telling the truth about Bobby watching kids. And she says this to Jazz. She's just like, when you have your kids and things like that, she says that it's the excuse to use when you have children and you're married. And that goes back to when we were defending Stacey, when Timo didn't want to film with them. So I'm just thinking to myself, this is what people do. You guys can relate to this. If you put it in your real life circumstances, you use your kids, your husband as your excuse. I can't wait to have a husband. I don't know about the kids part. And use them as my excuse. I can't make it tonight because the hubby does not want me to do that. So Stacey gets it. She's just like, when you have your husband, you'll realize, and when you have your kids. And she's like, Jazz, she's like, I'm already doing that. I'm the one calling the babysitters and things like that. Jazzy, I have to say, I turned a corner with you this week. I'm not saying I don't want to see you come back, but I've turned a corner with you this week. Has anyone else this week? Has anyone else? And Watson says, hold on. And Watson, where are you? The comment, why are you putting this on Stacey? Because I can. This is my review. I'm pointing out the hypocrisy of it all. If you don't agree, you don't have to agree. But I'm not done with the review yet. Buckle up. She's not the only one that's going to get it. You're about to get it yourself, though. Why are you putting this on Stacey? Because Stacey was the same one getting the same sort of a backlash from this group. She was the same one. So you would think that she would understand, but instead she's sort of like, oh, she's joining the mean girls. Instead of like, you know what? They did this to me, Angel. I understand. But okay, I will say when they get on the private jet, I like the way that she framed it with Angel. She tried to make it funny and less mean by making a joke about Monique's face swelling up 2 times the size. Just saying. It's a me thing says, get him, Kempire. Y'all think the villain era is over. Kempire After Dark returns to New York City, guys, on Friday, March 13th. If you haven't gotten your tickets already, tickets are now on sale for in-person and meet and greets. We also have the live stream option. So if you're in any other part of the world, if you are in Nairobi, Kenya, if you're in Cape Town, South Africa, if you're in Athens, Greece, if you are in Australia, I don't know about Greenland. But if you are in Greenland, you can get your live stream option and be a part of the show and actually keep the show for 1 week after the show, but you have to buy your tickets now, okay? Gray Area says that's why Stacey's for the streets. That's what, what's her name? That's what Gizelle said last night on Watch What Happens Live. Okay, before we move on, Can we just talk about Jackson Jordan being on Watch What Happens Live with Gizelle last night? This is why I said we can't believe everything that we see on this reality show, because we know that Jackson's not going to go on Watch What Happens Live with Gizelle without having a conversation with his mother and getting permission to actually do it. And I know he's grown, but please understand, okay? Cocoa Vibration says the villain era, the second act. Buckle up, okay? It's only January. Queen Mama says, yep, I got my live stream tick. Part of my birthday gift package to me. I love that, a gift package. Happy early birthday, Queen Shamama. Love that. All right. But anyway, so Jackson Jordan, Sharice's son, was on Watch What Happens Live last night, and he addressed the conversations about him hanging, the conversations with about Ashley and that thing. So he didn't expect for it to play out on the show. And would he hook up with her again? Basically, he was like, no. Basically, he also wouldn't reveal whether or not it went further than a kiss. He says, a gentleman never tells. I don't care anymore, because now I believe exactly what I said from the beginning, that Sharice is using this as an opportunity to get more attention, whether it be on the show, more in the blogs. He wants to be a model. Okay, he's modeling. He wants to be a bigger model. Because you're not telling me that Sharice did not be like, yeah, go on Watch What Happens Live with Gizelle after throwing Gizelle under the bus during that Carlos interview. You know what I mean? So I was just like, this is a scheme that Sharice set up for Gizelle and her son to come to us with the BS. I don't care. And this goes back to what I said. They had a lackluster season, so this was them trying to produce moments. Ashley wanted to produce a moment. Now Sharice wants to produce a moment. Watch What Happens Live wants to produce a moment. I don't care. Sharice, if you didn't care that he hooked up with her, fine. This does not need to be a storyline. You would have been better off having Sharice in the audience with him. But they all want something. They all want something. He wants to be a model. Sharice wants some attention. Gizelle wants a storyline. Ashley wants a storyline. No one cares. It's stupid at this point. Okay, Sharice, you acted like you cared, and at one particular point, I felt like people were coming on your side. But now I'm not. I was never on your side. But anyway, that's me. That's me. So they did like a whole truth bomb situation on Watch What Happens Live last night. I'll play a clip of it. We're playing this on the fair use and research purposes.
Lands in an explosive question, and tonight's truth bomb is for Jackson Jordan. Whoa, Jackson Jordan.
And I'm not going to take it away from Jackson. Jackson's cute.
Jordan, this is our first bartender truth bomb. Jackson Jordan. Was all that happened a kiss?
Well, Andy, I don't kiss and tell. I'm a gentleman.
That's right.
So yeah, I'll leave it at that.
What led?
I don't kiss and tell. I'm a gentleman, but I'll accept being on Watch What Happens Live. Oh yeah, because I want to be a model.
Up to the kiss.
Let me just say this to you, Jackson Jordan. If you want to be a model, if you want to be successful in entertainment or something like this, I get it. Everyone has a different path, okay? But don't follow your mom's path because it has not worked for her. Do the work. You're a handsome man. Do the work, okay? Being on Watch What Happens Live, okay, maybe someone will see him like, oh, let's book him in our next runway show. Fine. But now it's associated with mess. Look at Tyson Beckford. Tyson Beckford was just at the Ralph Lauren runway show looking amazing. He's had a career for 30 plus years.
Yes.
Well, I gave Ashley a ride home, and that happened.
Have you and Ashley spoken since the story of your kiss came out?
We have not.
Were you upset that she brought it up to your mom on camera?
Well, I don't really tell my mom stuff about that. I don't discuss my love life with my mom. I kind of keep that to myself. So I kind of was a little disappointed, but...
He says that he was disappointed that she brought it up. So I don't know who to trust in this whole situation because it seems very clear that he wasn't interested in this being a storyline.
If the opportunity presented itself, would you kiss Ashley again?
Good question. Well, I don't need a storyline, so I don't know.
That for me was like a dig at Ashley. He's like, I don't need a storyline. Okay. Exactly. Creme Brulee say Tyson looks good. Jamaican flag. Yeah. Tyson looks amazing. But just saying. Yeah. Okay, fine. Watch What Happens Live. You want to get those ratings up, I'm sure. Okay. Exactly. Coco Vibration says, Jackson, your mother's leading you astray. Run, child, run. When I heard that he was going to be on here, I was like, oh my God. This is so sad. All right, let's get back to this episode. I also did see, and I did a video talking about Quad checking Gizelle during Watch What Happens Live for the comments that Gizelle and regular Robin had about them recycling the girls on their shows. And then she pointed out, you should have saw Andy's face. Andy was living. This is why I was telling you, Andy gets off on these ladies being shady towards each other. This is what the whole dynamic of Watch What Happens Live is. So Quad basically says to her, like, oh, our ratings are, the last I checked, are beating out Potomac and Salt Lake City. Andy, that's not good for you. You don't produce Married to Medicine. You produce The Real Housewives. You just happen to do their reunion, but you're not a producer on it. Okay? So she basically drags Gizelle in front of her face and she's like, I never said that. Robin's the one who said that. And she wasn't even talking about your show. She's like, oh, no. The people said, okay? The people said that you were saying stuff too. You did. And she threw Robin under the bus. Are we surprised? No, we are not. We are not surprised that she threw Robin under the bus. But you also chimed in on this as well. But Quad, they also said, the people said, Quad, you always fighting with somebody on Watch What Happens Live. That's what the people said, Quad. But you know what stood out to me in that moment with Quad and Gizelle? This is a reminder that Giselle's not a great housewife. She's not. And there was a period of time that I liked Gizelle in the early years, maybe like the first 2-3 seasons. It's changed dramatically since. But in this moment, you are supposed to be like the prize over there. Supposed to be, because that's the way they treat her. You're supposed to be the prize over there. And Quad, who's from Married to Medicine, is reading you down, embarrassing you on this show. I will never understand the stand-up for Gizelle. Even Kenya has said that she's not good. She's even talked to Gizelle like, girl, you need to prep before the reunion. Call me. Because she always gets read down. And it's still, in 2026, she got read down. Exactly. Superstar 7 says, I'm not mad at Quad trying to read Gizelle, but she was reading from the wrong book. Gemini Rule says she's not a shade assassin. My thing is, I don't even need her to be a shade assassin. She's just not shady. She's not able to deliver in those moments. Especially when we talk about other housewives. We've talked about newbies being on Watch What Happens Live, and I'd say this is sort of like an audition. We're seeing if they can play. Giselle's not able to play like that. She isn't. But anyway, I digress. I will say this. Flip Virgo, I agree with you. Flip Virgo says at least Gizzard Wig looked good. She did look good last night on Watch What Happens Live. I mean, you got to give, because she looked terrible. She looked terrible on this last night's episode. Okay? All right. Let's move on. Let's get back to this. So the ladies are in the car and they're talking. For those that are just joining us, we're talking about the Real Housewives of Potomac's latest episode. We're already on episode 15. So we're close to the reunion. They already filmed their reunion a couple of weeks ago. So it will be interesting to see how far we come towards the end of the season. Clearly, though, I'm guessing maybe the last episode will probably be when Wendy's stuff will play out. Because they filmed. The cameras went back up. And I bet production was so happy, especially because of how lackluster this season is. So much so that we're filming Gizelle get a second hole in her ear. We're filming that? Okay. Lackluster season. I'm telling you, I spoke to some other sources this week, and they were like, yeah, it was such a bad season. So, I'm like, oh, really? Okay. All right, let's get back to this. So, Stacy, she talks with Jazzy about Angel using Bobby as an excuse about watching the kids. Monique then says that sometimes athletes think that they make the money and that's all that they're doing. So they're talking about the issues that Monique is seeing with Bobby and Angel, and she's relating to her own stuff. She says that in the past she got combative because of her marriage. So they flash back to all these moments where we see Monique being combative. Are we to believe, and I'm not saying that it's impossible, are we to believe that it was her marriage that was the sole reason that Monique was acting the way that she was acting those first few seasons that we had her? Are we to believe that? I don't know. It's very easy now in 2026 to blame everything on Chris. And I'm not saying that Chris was perfect, because clearly he was not. But it's very easy to blame Chris and your marriage for why you were being combative. That seems to be her excuse. That's why I was the way that I was, guys. That's how we're able to move on, Gizelle. All of that bad behavior, was because of your bad marriage. It had nothing to do with the Mean Girls of Potomac. None of that. They weren't just ganging up on you, hazing you like they're doing to Angel. You're able to see what you're able to see in Angel's marriage, but you're not able to see how those ladies are treating Angel versus how they used to treat you. I'm trying to I'm trying to understand. Okay. Sonate says that Chris is definitely her scapegoat. And I'm not saying that Chris was innocent. And I'm not saying that it didn't play a role, okay, in the role that she was playing. However, I don't want to say that was the sole reason, because I continue to see behavior from Monique that's reminiscent of that. So who's the real Monique? Will the real Monique stand up? Will the real Monique stand up, please? Okay. But all right. So she says that she got combative because of her marriage, and they flash back to all these different moments from her time on the show. So Wendy is the one who told Monique that the conversation that they had about Angel's marriage, Jazzy told Angel, and Monique was upset about that. She's like, I wanted to have that conversation with her myself. Monique, please save us on this, because between your confessionals, between what you were saying to the ladies, you don't bring this up on camera to these other women saying, oh, I wanted to have the conversation myself with her. Because if you wanted to have the conversation, you're not new to this. If you really wanted to have a genuine conversation with Angel because you were genuinely concerned, you would have waited to have that conversation with her instead of with the women. So please save me on that. Please save me on that. So Angel says that she's giving the ladies a taste of what it's like to do in Colorado. Excuse me. Stacy and Jazzy talk about Stacy wanting to get a chicken coop, because at one particular point they were like, I wonder what Stacy and Jazzy are talking about. So they flash into Stacy and Jazzy talking about, she's like, I've asked Timo to get me a chicken coop. So Jazzy says, yeah, I heard that the dogs be eating the chickens. You know, that reminded me of the Trump in the whole thing about that's what it reminded me of. I was like, wait, huh? What in the fake news is going on? So Gizelle then says that Angel never had any intention of having the group stay at her house. I feel like Angel may have put that out there, guys, that she wanted some of the ladies to stay at the house, or she made it seem like they were going to stay at her house. I don't know why they would think that all those women would stay at her house. I mean, even when she says she has 6 bedrooms is not going to be enough for all those women to stay at her house comfortably. You know what I mean? So they're being unrealistic in regards to that. But I do believe she was talking to certain people, making it seem like they were going to stay at her house, like Jazzy. Okay? But whatever. So Giselle said, you know, Angel never had any intention of the group staying at her house or the women staying together. Gizelle says that Angel has failed miserably. So they all arrive for the private jet. She's booked this private jet to take them to Aspen so they can experience Aspen, which is fine, okay? Excuse me. This is, they get on the private jet, and immediately it starts. Gizelle and Ashley start making comments about, about them might be smelling because they didn't have any water to bathe this morning and things like that. So Angel, she immediately, before they even start, she apologizes to the ladies for their accommodations, and Gizelle screams, she's like, too late. And I'm just like, first of all, she needed to apologize, especially for not checking in on them. But the way that Gizelle was not trying to hear her, it's just Gizelle trying to produce a moment. She's like, too late. Wendy then says that no one checked in on the group, and Angel says that she was so busy trying to correct the issue. And Giselle's upset with Tia. She's upset with Kiana because none of them checked in on the rest of the group. That's the part where I'm going to have on the ladies' side. I'm not saying that they should have been okay with not having water, the air conditioning not working. Yeah, but they need to blame someone, and the only person they can blame on camera is Angel. Okay? But the fact that Angel's coming to them very open-hearted and very empathetic should be enough for them to go a little bit light on her. But I agree with Wendy, like, no one checked in on us. No one said, you know what, I'll send an Uber for you guys to come over and you can take showers at my house. Honestly, that should have been something that was said. And I would have offered something like that. Yeah, do I want all these women in my house spending the night? No. But if you guys need to take showers, brush your teeth, wash your face, brush your teeth, come to my house. We'll send Ubers and do stuff like that. But the way that they went in on Angel, and she's just standing there taking it, I was just like, I cringed. It was hard to watch. It was definitely hard to watch. And I know some of the fans are like, oh, the Angel's not made for the show. No one in life, on television or in real life, should be jumped on like the way that Angel was jumped on that jet that she has now chartered for them to go to Aspen. Okay? So Angel says that, wait, let me go back. So Gizelle says that Kiana is too busy being up Angel's you-know-what. And she's like, no, I'm up my own you-know-what. So Kiana just wants to move on from this. And I know a lot of people are getting on Kiana for not chiming in. Like I said before, Angel said that they had agreed not to chime in each other's stuff. And I don't know why, because there is no way in hell, if that's my real friend, I'm going to let all these women jump down her throat. And you see your friend, she looked like she's breaking down in that moment. She really took it on the chin, because the way that they were jumping on her and she's trying to apologize, I was like, this is hard to watch. Ms. Sharon said the same thing. It was hard to watch. And this is coming from people that did not love how Angel was moving in the beginning. But this is why I said y'all got to stop being teams, all these people you don't know. Be team yourself, because when the moment comes when you could be like, well, no, Angel needs some protection here, you're able to be like, oh, no. This was ridiculous. And I felt for her. I was like, oh my gosh, this feels so cringy. Because it's not like she came in there like all hoity-toity and was just like, oh, I'm so sorry for you guys. You should have called me. Why didn't you? She didn't do that. She apologized. She said, I was working on new accommodations. And it seems as if she was the one working on the Four Seasons stuff. I don't know if production and her were working on it. She even mentioned in the after show that she had another place in mind that the ladies could stay. It was another like mansion that was near her home. I don't know why that wasn't considered before. Maybe because production was the one doing all of this. Okay, hold on. Miss Cece, clearly this is probably Giselle's burner account. Miss Cece says, why is Kempire such an Angel stan? You must be new here. Okay? You must be new here. Just because I am standing up for what is right in this moment doesn't make someone a stan. If you don't like what I'm saying, please escort yourself out. This is my review. If you want when we were beating on Angel, go back to the earlier episodes. Okay, we're not going to join the whole Mean Girl crew just because that might be cool to do. Okay? I love it when people come in here, Angel stan. Oh, because we are defending someone that's being jumped on by everybody in this group and no one is there? I'm not doing that. I've never been that person. I'm not going to start to be that person for you fake people with fake profiles on here. I have never been that person. I don't, if you're new here, we even have t-shirts that says Team Me, okay? I'm going to be Team Me, okay? Mary Jane says she's new, clearly, because I've never seen that before, okay? Miss Cece says, are we not allowed to share difference of opinions on here? No, this is my house. My thing is, you're not sharing a difference of opinion. You're accusing me of being an angel stan. It's one thing to be like, well, no, this is how I feel. You're accusing me of being an angel stan. There's a way of sharing your opinion. Like, no, I disagree. I think Angel was wrong. You can say that. You're not going to come in here like, oh, why is he being such an angel stan? That's your opinion, but you can share that on your YouTube channel with 2 subscribers. Bye, Miss Cece. And now you got a little attention that your mother didn't show you. You're welcome. You're welcome. I'm sorry your mother didn't give you that attention. Okay? Now you got a little bit. Okay? Miss Lee said, Miss Cece, are you okay? Because that's the thing. People think that they can't share. Everyone here shares their opinions all the time. They don't always agree with me. But it's one thing to come up in here and be like, oh, you are this or you are that. That's like coming up in my house and trying to disrespect me. You're not going to do it. You're not going to do it. You see, I didn't block you, though. You can still share your opinion, but keep it up. Watch your mouth. Okay? Moving on, because I have Married to Medicine to recap. I have things to do, Miss Cece. Okay, let's move on. So they're constantly coming down on Angel on the jet. Okay, so Tia says that she should have checked in on her friends. Tia, I'm looking at you with the side eye. I am looking at you with the side eye because you're saying one thing during the after show, one thing probably to Angel. Like, you're talking out 2 sides of your face. Okay? All right. So, see, she should have checked in on her other friends, but she was consoling Angel, who was crying. She woke up. She had woke up that morning and she had found that Angel was crying. I believe it. I definitely believe she was crying. So, but she says that she should have checked in on the other ladies. What we found out in the after show, apparently there's their group chat, and apparently Tia was in the group chat, wasn't in that particular group chat. So that's why she didn't know that the ladies were complaining about the no water and things like that. Okay? All right. Let me see what else she said. Angel says that she sent an electrician and a property manager while the ladies were still at her house. So she was already trying to work on the issues while the ladies were still at her home. And apparently everything was good. And so she thought everything was good by the time the ladies got there. Okay? Gizelle calls Angel. She's like, you're a horrible host. Lord. You're a horrible host. Like, Gizelle is not trying to hear Angel, especially because Angel's coming to her heartfelt in that moment. She's coming heartfelt. It'd be one thing if she was sort of like making excuses for it, but she's like, I'm so sorry, I'm working on other accommodations. Gizelle claims that she's already booked them at the Four Seasons, and then the group starts applauding. So just kind of picture this. If this was you were in Angel's place. You're trying your best to help everyone. You're hosting this event. You're hosting this trip. And everyone is bombarding on you. And then everyone's clapping. Oh, my God, Gizelle's our savior. Big sister, Green Eyes, this is our savior. Woo, yay. She booked us at the Four Seasons. Yay. Okay. Fiery says on her own jet. Well, I mean, she doesn't own the jet, but she booked the jet for them. Okay. So I just thought that was just so cringy watching them all applaud Gizelle in that moment. She's being mean to Angel in regards to this. And then she's like, I've booked us a new accommodations. You know, I'm a Four Seasons girl. Where? Nothing about Gizelle tells me that she's a Four Seasons girl. Oh, because the last trip that was booked by production was at Four Seasons? Girl, am I to believe the same way we're supposed to believe on Real Housewives of Orange County that Gina booked them at the Four Seasons in New Orleans?
Lies! The lies!
I get it. You want to paint a certain picture of production, but come on. And then for them to just to continue that narrative, you know I'm a Four Seasons girl. Where? Nothing. This outfit? Look, this outfit that you got on is to tell us that you're a Four Seasons girl? If you walk into Four Seasons with this outfit, I know they're looking at you like, what the? Who let this lady in here? Okay? But fine. All right. So the group applauds Gizelle for being their savior. Big Sister Green Eyes. Yay! She's come to their rescue. These grown adults could not figure out an alternative. All of these people could not figure out an alternative. They had to rely on Gizelle. No, that was production figuring out the details, and they just gave it to Gizelle to be Captain Save-A-Ho. And I find it so interesting. I said this last season. I said, you see what production is trying to do. You see what the network is trying to do. They're trying to paint a new narrative with Gizelle. And Gizelle has become so unlikable with the audience. So they were like, okay, Gizelle, Wendy, you guys got to make peace. Gizelle, we're bringing back Monique. You got to make peace. They're trying to, this is what they do with PR. This is what they do with celebrities all the time, where they have a big falling out with the public and then they try to change the narrative and they're trying to spin it. This is all PR. Okay? Okay, so it's hard to change the narrative. And I said this last season. I said, only time will tell if Gizelle has really changed. And very clearly, we've seen so many examples since then that Gizelle has not changed. And this is coming from someone that liked Gizelle in the early years. How quickly that has changed. But that's my opinion. That's my opinion. All right. So moving on. So Angel reminds Gizelle that they are on this jet because of her. And Gizelle says, saying she's like, she doesn't care about a jet. She more cares about washing her ass. And you know what I thought about in that moment? And this is where Angel, you would have won my respect. And she was like, you know where we have running water? In the bathroom on this private jet. How about you go wash your ass there? That would have been my response. But I'm a different person, okay? I'm a different person. Because there ain't no way. I'm telling you, well, we're on this private jet because of me. And she's just like, well, I don't care. Well, then get off. Get off the private jet. I'm sure you can go to Four Seasons right now, Gizelle, and wash your ass. Okay? You can go get off. Or you can go in the private bathroom on the jet and wash your ass there. Okay? Just saying. All right. Let me say thank you. We had a cue. Mr. Maverick says, see, you're quicker on your feet. I just feel like in that moment, I was like, girl, I've tried to be nice. I came in humble, and that wasn't good, so I'm going to come in ugly, okay? Kalani, thank you so much for being a member for 26 months, over 2 years. Says Stacy owes Angel nothing indeed. Okay, fine. I just feel like, and I say this all the time, an injustice anywhere is a okay, Dr. King, on your birthday, an injustice anywhere is a threat to justice everywhere. Because now it's not you, but later on it could be you. The same could be said for Angel too, but Angel was new in this group. Okay. S. Tracy, thank you so much for being a member and for the super chat. Tracy says Monique needs to focus on her actual healing. She's probably going through the whole Whitney healing journey. Only Chestina, thank you so much for the super chat. Hey, Kempire, I want you to know you rock. You should get your own flute because I only know one about RHOP because of you. The girls are not doing it. Well, but thank you. I don't want a flute, though. I don't want to be on reality television. But thank you. I appreciate it. Rahina, thank you so much for the super chat and for being a member. Rahina says, hi, Kempire. This might be a big ask. My 2-year-old's obsessed with your shirt. She keeps saying, I want to see Mickey Mouse on shirt. I told him you are not able to stand. This is a show. Hold on. Okay, 2-year-old Mickey Mouse. I got it from Zara in Europe. I'm sure you probably could find it here. I didn't see it here, though. I don't shop in Zara here in the States because I just don't feel like it's the same. Zara in Europe, lit. All right, there you go. Your Mickey Mouse. I didn't wear any merch today, but you guys know. Are you okay, merch? All the stuff is available right now. Let me bring it up because I always forget to promote my stuff. You guys asked for the mugs. The mugs are here. Go get your mugs for the houseofkempire.com or thekempire.com and click the shop button. Are you okay? Go get your merch today. Okay? All right, let me take this down. Guys, if you're just joining us, we're talking about the latest episode of The Real Housewives of Potomac. I do want to say thank you for some more super chats. Kendra says, RHOP has always given off the vibes that the goal is to destroy marriages. Jizzy, Ashley, Charisse, Robin, Monique all had cheating scandals. They all project their situations on others. Just gross. Wait, Monique had a cheating scandal? Oh, I know she did. Damn. But yeah. Thanks, Kendra, for being a member as well. Cece says, I agree, Kempire. Stacey quickly forgot how she was treated. I really hope that she be able to fly above the foolishness and not join in with all the husbandless wives. Yeah, it stood out to me. I'm not saying that she had to go all in. I think she could, and I do think on the plane, she provided a little levity and laughter to everything that was happening when it came to having no water. And I understand not having the water and things like that was a bit jarring. I understand that. I'm not saying that. But the gang up felt really awkward and hard to watch. Roots to Tresses, thank you so much for the super chat. Hey, Kemp, will you play Set Me Free for my birthday today? Love your lives when I catch them. Thank you so much, Roots for Tresses. I'm not going to do this every time, but I'll do this now.
Set me free.
That's it. Thank you, Roots for Tresses. Happy birthday. Shout out to anyone celebrating a birthday. Kalani, thank you so much for another super chat. Kalani says, why would Stacey take up for someone who talked about her hygiene in the beginning of the show and she didn't know her? Get your dick in, Stacey. Really? She really talk about her hygiene like that. Come on now. But my thing is, the point is, how about you do better than that person? I'm not saying that she should join in the same way that these other women are doing. What I'm saying is, how about you do better? You didn't like how they were ganging up on you, especially in that moment. It's one thing if you want to take your digs in and things like that before, but in that moment, it felt like everybody on the plane was beating up on Angel, and that was so hard to watch. Sidebar, Miss Cece, if you're still here, you probably are. You see how she was able to share her thoughts. Where's the comment? I lost the comment. Damn it! You saw how she was able to share her thoughts without attacking me personally. She was able to share her differing opinion without attacking me personally. She didn't call me an angel stan. Do you see how she was able to do that? Oh, goodness. Way of Keith, thank you so much for the super chat. Way of Keith says, hello, pilot. Cut the engine off. Me if I was Angel. Also, Gizelle has always given Motel 6 and Rainbow on Sales vibes. Never saw the hype for her. Oh, man. Thanks, Way of Keith. Chastity, thank you so much for being a member for the super chat. Chastity says, hey, Kempire, I'm from Memphis too, but I reside in Atlanta. It's not that Quad argues with everyone. And I'm telling you what people were saying. I'm not saying that that's how I felt. It's not that Quad argues with everyone. M-Town woman gonna make you stand on business every time. Ooh. Young Eartha Kid, thank you so much for the super chat. She says, I didn't even watch the episode. I knew the highlight would be ganging up on Angel, tired, and Gizelle/Ashley being thirsty over Mauricio, also tired. But I'm here to see Kemp drag the girls. Well, thank you so much for another super chat. You say, Kemp ushered us all to the playground today. Miss Cece girl, are you okay? You might want to take your shoes off before coming into his house next time. Thank you, Young Eartha Kid. Thank you. Kendra, thank you so much for another super chat. Kendra says, I know Karen is getting a raise for ratings next season. She needs to. She definitely needs to. And they better not try and lowball her because she had a season off. They better pay the woman her stuff. Okay? And this is actually a moment that I know Karen would have stepped up for Angel. She would have been a good mentor. This is very clear. Candace talked about this on our podcast, that how Karen was a mentor to her. She feels like Angel needs a mentor. Right now, Kiarna is her mentor. That is not a good mentor, clearly. But I do believe if Karen was here in this moment, she would have stepped up. Because it's also a tourist thing. We were probably like, what the hell's happening right now? You guys are ridiculous. All of you. And I'm not even just talking about Stacey. I'm looking at Wendy, too. You've been on here long enough. They ganged up on you at one particular point, and I get it. You get your licks in because of the way that Angel treated you in the beginning, but you also see a pattern of behavior. Like, when does it stop? But everyone has said, she's just been waiting for her moment. Tish, thank you so much for the super chat and for being a member. I feel like the only reason why it felt like a gang up is because Tia and Kay were silent. They should have had Angel's back. The other group had legitimate issues. Sidebar, yesterday was my birthday. Happy belated birthday, Tish. Happy belated birthday. Yeah, I mean, yes, they were definitely quiet. But like I said, apparently the context was that Kiarna and Angel decided they wouldn't get involved in each other's stuff. But okay. Kay, thank you so much for the super chat. Kay, and for being a member. Kay says, Habo? Habo? Is that how you pronounce it? Chat, why are we talking about husbands like it's a goal to aspire to? I don't know. Are they talking about husbands in the chat like that? I'm completely missing it. But thank you so much for the super chat. Okay, the Libra Diva says, Kempire, I hate how they kept coming for Angel, although 96% of their complaints were justified. That's the thing. I don't understand why people do not understand the difference. We get it. We would not want to be at somebody's Airbnb with no water or proper air conditioning. She says, but Stacey wasn't really piling on. She was voicing her concerns about the accommodations. Miss Cece, you see how she shares her differing opinion, but in a pleasant way here on the channel? She has manners. She took her shoes off. She took her shoes off. Do you see? It felt like a pylon because she was voicing in this moment, and you could see Angel cracking. Hybo, oh, thank you so much. Thank you, Cindy. Says it's pronounced Hybo. Thank you. All right, let's move on. I'm just pointing out the obvious because some of y'all also accuse me of being a Stacey stan too. Just saying, everybody can get it here. I am loyal to me, very much like Ashley. She's loyal to herself. I am loyal to me. I just feel like literally we're seeing it in the same season. I think that's what it is. If this was a new season, I'd probably be like, fine. But we're seeing this. We saw how they piled on Stacey at the top of the season. Now we're seeing them do it with Angel at the end of the season. But all right, let's move on. All right. Miss Cece, this is probably the most attention she's ever gotten. Oh. Miss Melvin Magic, you're terrible. Oh, goodness. All right, let's focus. Let's move on. All right, so they get to they're on their flight. They make their way to Aspen. Jazzy reminds us that she's been a flight attendant for 11 years. Stacey told Gizelle and Ashley about her taking her contacts off. We get this little side story as well. We get this little side story about she had taken her contacts out, but they had like a proper napkin, so she didn't want to put the contacts in the napkin. Why not put it on the table? Why put it on your plate? Apparently, she ended up eating the contacts. Or maybe the contacts blew away. It was windy out there. I don't know if she necessarily ate the contacts, but maybe she did. All right. So apparently, they said she got a 20/20 booty hole. Okay. Fine. All right. Let's move on. They get to the whiskey lounge. All right. So they go to the whiskey lounge. Angel says that everyone comes to Aspen to play. She's very big on Aspen. She goes there often. Okay. So Angel says that the women don't know how to act when they, Ashley says that the women don't know how to act when they drink whiskey because that's the only thing they have. They have whiskey. They have, they don't have beer. They don't have tequila. Both Ashley and Gizelle are upset about that. And then he flashback to all the times that the ladies had whiskey because Ashley's like, they act up when they have some whiskey. Fine. Angel apologizes again. She apologizes again to the ladies, even though they don't want to take it from her. Okay? So Monique decides to bring up what Jazzy had told Angel. So she asked Jazzy, why did you tell Angel about our conversation? And Monique says that she didn't want Angel to get to a point where Angel explodes. So Angel stops Monique, because Monique says she sees some of the things that she's gone through in her marriage to Chris. So Angel says, so you're wondering if that's my lived experience. And she's like, it's not. Ooh. She's like, it's not. And then in her confessional, she's just like, I don't know why. She barely knows me to make that sort of assessment. And I have to agree. And some people are saying that, oh, I can see what Monique is saying. We are watching an edited show, y'all. And one thing we're probably seeing a lot more than what Monique has actually seen in that relationship to make that type of assessment. I just cringe at Monique even trying to allude to that, because I wouldn't want to even put that bad juju on anyone's marriage unless I'm really close with that person and we're talking and I'm seeing things that I haven't seen. If we're in another reason why Angel didn't want y'all in her house, because then y'all would have taken something that was said or done even more. My gosh. So she's like, that is not my lived experience. Okay. Angel says that it's a respect thing, and that's why she says she was checking with her husband. Why is it that I don't even have a husband, and I'm able to see and understand where she's coming from when she said that she has to check with her husband? And we saw when she checked with her husband, clearly she did not want to spend the night with you ladies. He said, if that's what you want to do, you could do that. That she wants to be laid up with Bobby and his big arms and legs. I would too. I would want to be at home with my man, and not you lonely heifers. Okay? Wouldn't you? Like, especially after we see what played out on the plane? After a day of filming with you ladies, I want to go home to my happy place with my husband. Okay? Okay? That's what I would rather do than be with you lonely heifers. Okay? Just say. And he does dote on her. Every time that we see Bobby and Angel, he's doting on her. He's running after the kids. I'm like, I would not want to be with you ladies. So any excuse is better than none not to be with you guys. But okay. Fantanique says that Bobby seems cranky. We're seeing a moment of Bobby. And I'm sure the crankiness of Bobby we're seeing is after Angel has complained to him about how they're treating her. I'm sure after now I'm looking back on Bobby on Watch What Happens Live, and I said he seemed really like withdrawn. And now I'm thinking, oh, it's probably because he got to see the rest of the episodes and how they treated his wife. If that was because, I'm a Taurus, so we're very like the certain, our people are our people. If I saw those ladies treat my boo thing like that, it'd be death to all. Not literally, I'm being dramatic. You know the reference, Wendy Williams. I would not see it with you guys ever. Wait with Keith. Wait with Keith says time with my man greater than time with Gizelle. Right? Come on now. Come on. All right. I agree. Ocean's Dreaming says that I feel like folks are reaching about Bobby. We're also watching an edited show. Now, if this was years of us of watching this and we've seen certain behaviors like a Michael Darby of it all, then I could understand. Board Soso said, and he's a Leo man too. Explain that to me. What do you mean, Board Soso? Like, I want to get there with you. We love astrology here. Yep. Look, BS says Tauruses and Virgos are alike in that way. My people are my people. I don't mess up. I don't play around when it comes to my people. If I had saw some of the things that these ladies have done, and mind you, we're watching an edited version. She's probably told him everything that we haven't even seen. Because please understand, they probably have edited this down. It's probably a lot worse than what we saw. All right, let's move on. Because I do want to drop the call link for those that want to call in and share their thoughts on the Real Housewives of Potomac. If you're just joining us, we will be live on YouTube. YouTube and Facebook and Twitch and Twitter at 3 p.m. Eastern for our Married to Medicine. I got lots to say about Married to Medicine too, y'all. Lots to say about Married to Medicine as well. That's coming at 3 p.m. Eastern. All right, so make sure that you guys are subscribed and your notifications are on. Before I forget, I do want to drop the calling. Shout out to those of you watching on X. I see you guys. Hey, Marilyn. Marilyn's watching on X, but she might be here on YouTube as well. All right, so if you are a Royal Court member and up, I'm going to drop the call link for you guys first. We're not getting to the callers just yet. I just wanted to do this before I forget. And if you're listening to the podcast version of this, guys, do not forget to subscribe to the Kempire podcast. I did just upload a Hot Topics episode, so it's not just the episodes, the live recaps here. There are special episodes there, including our Club Kempire. I also gave you guys a sneak peek of Club Kempire by sharing with you members only Palm Beach recap that I did. So that episode came out, so be sure to check that out. And all right, so let's move on. If you're a Team Kempire member, I'll drop the calling for you guys in a bit. Let me get back to my notes. There we go. All right. So Wendy, let me rewind. So Angel says that it's a respect thing. That's why she's checking in with her husband, okay? She says she also watches her children, uses the word watch, okay? Jazzy says that it was concerning for her, so that's why she brought it up as well. Jazzy says in her confession, she says, as a fellow wag, I've seen other wags who, kind of get lost in finding out who they are. Girl, you are a wag come lately. Yes, I know you were the girlfriend of Darius, but you are a wag come lately. I don't she tries to give this perspective of the wags. And look, I'm not saying that she's wrong, but to make this assessment, because it feels like now you're falling into the mean girl clique. Because before, a couple of episodes ago, you were like, don't talk about her man like that. And don't compare your failed marriage to her current marriage. And I'm just sort of like, okay, so Jazzy, where do you land with this? I'm not understanding. I thought you had your own mind. And based on what I'm seeing with this week's episode and what we're seeing in the after show, I'm just kind of looking at Jazzy like, and especially next week when you get mad at Stacey for only coming to your wedding when she knew that it was being filmed. How did you prove that? Or are you just going by what Ashley told you? I don't understand. Where's the proof that that's the only reason why Stacey... And look, it could be. I'm not saying that it's not. But if there's no legitimate proof, that's not a reason to be mad at Stacey and for your friendship with Stacey to be not in the best place right now. Okay? 020 says, baby wag trying to give advice, rolling eyes. I know. I was sort of like, okay, she wants to be the wag whisperer for us. Okay, wag whisperer. All right, so moving on from there, Gizelle doesn't know why Angel doesn't have childcare. So she brings that up. These ladies have no limits or boundaries. And Angel says she does have childcare, but she still needs to coordinate that with the babysitter and with I don't understand why they don't understand. They were married before, okay? I don't understand why you guys don't have some sort of empathy. It's like you're so dead set. You're so committed to just not liking Angel or giving her any sort of grace. I can understand not liking her for a variety of different reasons, but it's like you're just so committed to not seeing it her way at all. Okay? Yes, should she have childcare? She should. And if I was Kiarna, again, she's not being guided well. I would have told her if I knew her, Angel, if you're doing a girls trip, you're going to need childcare overnight. Childcare, okay, or you're going to need to communicate because they're going to want you to be there. She just was not guided when it comes to how this is all going to play out. So Wendy then confronts Jazzy because she's like, you know what the real issue is? Like, why did Jazzy bring this information to Angel? Since Monique said multiple times that she wanted to have this conversation with her. They all wondered when did because Jazzy said, you know, I've been communicating with Angel. And they're like, when did you and Angel become so close? And she's like, they've been communicating off camera since they met. And Gizelle says, and that's the issue. Why is that the issue? Why is that the issue? Jazzy then takes a dig at Tia. She says that she was going to stay at Angel's house. She's like, you know, Tia only stayed there by default. And Tia's like, what do you mean? I'm just staying here by default. And then they clarify some of this on the after show. It still doesn't make sense, Jazzy, how Tia stayed there by default. She didn't stay there by default. Jazzy claims that in her conversations with Angel kept on saying like, oh, I can't wait for you to come stay at my house and blah, 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 blah. And apparently it didn't work out that way. I don't know if that was because of production. I feel like there's something there in regards to production as to why Jazzy ended up not staying at the house. Or maybe something happened at her house and that other room wasn't available. She just said that she didn't have the accommodations for Jazzy. So she didn't choose Jazzy when she could have, and then put Tia with the rest of the ladies. So Tia's just like, how was I chosen by default? It seems like she chose me over you. So Jazzy was backtracking during the after show because she was right there in front of Tia. It still didn't make sense, Jazzy. Girl. It did not make sense. Jazzy thinks that maybe Kay advocated for Tia to be at the house. Could be. Wendy says that she wants Angel to stand on business and call out the people she doesn't like. She's like, I just wish you'd be like, I don't like you. I want you to stay. I want these particular people to stay at my house. I think it was very clear that she was standing on business. Because then Wendy talks about when she hosted the ladies, and she's like, I stood on business. I put Gizelle and Robin on the second floor together in that suite. Well, isn't that exactly what Angel did at this Airbnb? She put Ashley and Gizelle in that room together. Sounds like she was standing on business. But okay. But all right. Sounds like she was standing on business. But okay. So Wendy says that's her frustration. She says that that's what she did when she hosted it. And she was like, that was based on our current relationship. So Angel says that every time she tries to open herself up to this group, she's met with this same energy. I have to agree, because at this particular point, you guys beat on her on the plane. She apologizes again at the whiskey lounge that she's hosting, and you guys are still coming for her. You're still coming for her. Look, I have to say, Angel did not have a great start to the season. But at the same time, it's like, okay, are we done beating on Angel? Like, homegirls beat to the pulp at this particular point. So she said, and this is exactly why every time she tries to open up to you guys, this is what happens. Okay? And so the ladies decide, all of a sudden, Giselle's like, all right, let's go to Kimosabe. Very, very big sister, green eyes over here. She's deciding when we go, where we going, what we doing. So, because she's taking over the trip. Okay? So Monique checks in, and Jazzy and Kiana check in with Angel, and Angel starts crying. Angel starts breaking down. I don't blame her. From the plane to here, if it was you, no matter how you feel about Angel, I want you to put yourself in Angel's position. Even if she's hosting a bad trip, the way that they are piling on Angel, none of you would like. Even if you are a Gizelle stan, none of you would like that if they did that to you. So and remember, she's a Pisces. We talk astrological signs here. She's a Pisces, so she's even more sensitive. Okay? So she starts crying, and then Monique is trying to console her and trying to give her advice. I said, Monique, shut up. This word salad you talking about. Because you were just coming at her too. Now you want to be like, woo, woo, woo. No. Leave me alone. I'd be like, Monique, get away from me. You talking about my marriage. If anything, I should be more mad at you than them. They talking about me. You talking about my marriage, and I don't play about my marriage. Get out my face with your tacky outfit. That's what I would have said too, but I'm different, okay? I'm different. Tyrese said, I would have cried on the plane. Honestly, I thought she was going to cry in that moment. I was like, oh my gosh, don't cry, Angel, don't cry. Judy says it was tacky. Especially from the back. I was like, oh God, what does she have on? But okay, fine, whatever. We're going to leave it alone. I was like, what is happening right now? And then the thing is, she's saying this stuff. I watched it like 3 times. I was like, what is Monique saying right now? What are you saying? Get out my face. Because honestly, I would have been more mad at you than any of them. You trying to allude that my marriage might not be in the best place, that we might be on the brink of divorce, that Bobby doesn't dote on me, that Bobby might be like your husband. Okay? Or young Arthur gets a villain era very much well and alive. Can you imagine what's going to happen at Kempire After Dark on March 13th here in New York City? Go get your tickets. Please and thank you, because by then the reunion would have aired. We get to really talk. I'm holding back. Can you imagine? I'm holding back. Go get your tickets today. Come to New York City. Make it a trip. Make it a weekend. Get on that train. DC, come on. All right, DC, y'all are hop, skip, and jump away. Go get your tickets. Let's sell this show out. All right. Moving on. All right. So Angel's breaking down. Monique is trying to console her. The ladies are trying to console her. Giselle comes on in. Are we going? Remember she did that before at her event when first of all, she didn't even need to come over and say anything to Stacey. See why I'm correlating the Stacey of it all? Remember she did that to Stacey at her Two Broke Girls podcast celebration situation? Remember when she did that? And she went over and was being a mean girl after Stacey was leaving too? And Stacey was already leaving. She already said her goodbyes to you, and you coming over to the elevator. Okay? Look, Lonnie's coming from Philly, right? Lonnie's coming to the New York City show. She's coming from Philly. She's getting on that train, or maybe a car. Just saying. Giselle comes over. She's like, are we going? And all the young sisters are like, we're coming. So they go to Kemo Sabe. We are familiar with Kemo Sabe because we've seen it on Real Housewives of Beverly Hills before. But here's the difference. Because I watched the after show. Apparently, Bobby and Angel frequent and buy a lot of stuff from Kemo Sabe when they're there. So a lot of the things that we saw happen where they opened up the rooftop for them, they don't do that. They don't do that for filming. They didn't do that for Beverly Hills ladies. They did it for Angel. You saw how they greeted Angel when she walked into Kemo Sabe? They were like, oh my God. You know she's spending money there. Okay? She's spending money there. So they were like, oh my gosh. They were so excited to see her. She said in the after show, they never opened up the rooftop and things like that for any group. They did it for her because she patronizes this place all the time. Just saying, when you spend money at certain places, they're going to treat you like a king and queen. And mind you, she went there and she bought more stuff and she brought people to buy stuff. Not Stacey, though. But you know what? We're going to get to it, Stacey. I'm not mad at you, Stacey. Hey, we're not going to catch you in no case. Just saying. All right. So Wendy was trying to make her way to Kemo Sabe. She said, I can't in my Mary J. Blige boots. She always trying to be a fashionista. The boots were booting, though. They were beautiful boots. The thing is, you damn know that those prosecutors are watching Real Housewives of Potomac with a magnifying glass. Okay? They're watching with a magnifying glass like, what is going on? How much were these? Did she return these? All right. Angel says that Kemo Sabe is a celeb hotspot. We know this already. Gizelle is looking at earrings, and then a flashback later on in the scene in regards to Gizelle getting her ears pierced. That was one of the scenes that Gizelle filmed this season. Of course they flash back to it because what else are we going to talk about with Gizelle? All right. Kay is trying to get her boots off because she's going to buy some sneakers. So because those boots are probably uncomfortable. They were beautiful boots, Kay. You and Wendy had some beautiful boots on. Okay. Mary J. Blige will be very proud. Kay checks in on Angel. She checks in on Angel and she says she's tired of seeing them constantly coming for Angel. Because I know a lot of you keep saying, oh, I can't believe Kay hasn't spoken up. I'm telling you, this is what Angel said that they made an agreement they wouldn't get involved. So that's part of the reason why they did that. Again, if that was my real friend, there ain't no way. There ain't no way I could sit there and watch that. So, So Ashley, they end up going to another part of Kemosabe, not the roof yet, where they went up to the bar. Ashley goes behind the bar, and this is where Ashley reveals that she worked at a membership lounge. She was like, in quotes, membership lounge. And she said, that's where I met Michael. Oh, the plot thickens. And then they flash back to when Angel said that, Ashley used to be my bottle girl. Oh, are we surprised? No, we're not surprised. I thought to myself, I was like, is this membership lounge similar to the membership lounge that Mia worked? You know what I mean? Just saying, is it? But apparently she was just a bottle girl. Fine. But that's how she met Michael. All right. So she starts making these pink pea shots. Okay. So they start talking about it, and they're like, oh, those look like dry. Those look real dry. You trying to say my pea shot looks dry? All right. So they all take a shot. Monique wants to let them know she's strictly, you know what, but fine. So Ashley, then they start talking about the amount of money that they spent. Ashley spent $4,000 on that belt. Kiana bought these, when she spent like $1,350 on these sneakers, Kemosabe sneakers. I don't think I would spend that much on sneakers at Kemosabe, but I guess maybe it's their own leather, so maybe that's why they were so expensive. But I personally, unless they were super comfortable, but I think she wanted to get out of those heels. But I don't think I would pay $1,350 for Kemosabe sneakers. That's just me. If I'm going to spend money on some sneakers, it's not going to be Kemosabe sneakers. But maybe the leather is special there, because I saw Monique making comments about the smell and dead animal, and I was just sort of like, Monique, stop it. You're so extra. It's leather. Calm down. So extra. She's like, oh, I can't take it. I'm like, okay, girl. All right. So they're all talking about the things that they spent. They flash back to Bolo because Tia got a bolo tie that she spent like $500 on. Gizelle spent $1,000 on those earrings for her second hole. Okay. Wendy spent $200 on turquoise earrings for Cameron. And here's what stood out to me when she bought the earrings. Wendy says, we're rich, so our children are rich too. We're rich, so our children. I said, I've been trying to ignore the case of it all. But then I said, I can't ignore this. We're rich, so our kids are too. The prosecution are saying that Wendy and Eddie did this because they're in extreme debt. This is what they're alleging. I'm not saying that it's fact. I'm just saying the prosecution is saying that Wendy and Eddie did this insurance fraud because they're in extreme debt. Okay, somebody's rich. I don't know if it's you, Wendy. Stacy says that she was just looking for a keychain, and she ended up getting a keychain, and she said that she's not rich and she knows how to stay rich. This is what I can appreciate about Stacy. Stacy came in. I don't know who helped her. I know Charisse claimed that she helped Stacy, and maybe she did. Maybe she actually took the advice that Charisse allegedly gave her. All right? So I'm like, I like how Stacy's moving. She's not trying to impress these heifers. They're all spending money and things like that. She's like, I'm looking for a keychain. And look, as someone that travels often abroad, I remember when I first started traveling, I used to get all these little tchotchkes and things like that. And then I came back and I was like, I would get gifts and stuff. I think gifts are better to get because then they're not collecting in your house. But I'm telling you, I can still probably find something. I'm trying to look, see if I see anything here. They're like these little tchotchkes that I have. And I'm just like, I don't need this. Why did I get this? There was something here. Hold on. Let me see if it's here. Hold on, y'all. I thought I had it in here still. But there's like these little things that I've gotten on trips. I'm just like, why am I getting this? So I get it, Stacy. I appreciate the transparency. I don't think she's poor. Sidebar. Tia says, "Oh, well, I never looked at Stacy and thought that she was one of means." That's exactly. Flashback to what I said when we first were introduced to Tia and her home. And I said, Tia, don't change a thing. I'm just saying what stood out to me. This is my review. This is what I'm going to say. But when she said that, I said, you definitely don't give one of means either. Yes, you could, and I get it. Production probably tells you to talk about the life that you had growing up and things like that. But you definitely don't give me one of means. When we went to Stacy's house, I was like, oh, if I had to compare, I was like, she definitely gives ones of means. She also has an apartment in D.C. She's got her house and she's got an apartment. I mean, if you're going to spend money, spend it on real estate. So I'm thinking to myself, I never looked at Stacy as one of means. Okay? Okay. Joy says that wealth whispers, Tia. Well, her wealth is definitely whispering because I can't see it. I can't hear it. I can't see it. I was just like, oh, okay, Tia. Toodle-doo, Tia. Sports also says in the chat. Yeah. I can, honestly, this is what I like to Monica Garcia on Salt Lake City. Her transparency in regards to, like, I was trying to keep up with you ladies, but I can't. I struggle. But I don't think that Stacey's struggling, okay, at all. Not in the least bit. And she's just like, I'm not rich. Honestly, I bet you that she does quite okay. She's fine. But she's like, I'm not rich. But she's probably also frugal. I'm not spending any of this money on tchotchkes. Or maybe things that she's like, I know Arabella is not gonna like any of that stuff. I mean, she could have got something for Timo. I don't know. Fine. All right, moving on. But she's also an Aries. Shout out to the Aries. You guys like your nice things, but you also are not wasteful. You're not wasteful. You have to really think about things, and like you have to really have kind of thought about it for a long time. Like, oh, this is something. Then you'll pull the trigger. Aries women they're not spending like that. Y'all not spending like that. I just thought about that, so I'm not completely surprised. I mean, neither is Gizelle. Gizelle just needed some earrings, so she was like, I'm gonna get them here. Okay. Scorpio Moon Girl says Aries are frugal. Yeah, I just thought about it. I was like, I forgot that she's an Aries woman. I'm not shocked that she was like, I don't need anything here. Good for her. Good for her. All right, let's move on. Because I do want to get out of here soon. I know we have members that are backstage. If you are a Team Kempire member, I just dropped the call link for you guys as well. I do want to talk about the Mauricio of it all. Every sign that I'm seeing during this season is showing me that they didn't have a lot, so they're grasping at straws to have moments. Mauricio, we're spending these last few minutes of the show about Mauricio. Yes, Mauricio, good-looking man, still technically married to a fellow housewife. But all of this conversation about Mauricio and flirting with Mauricio, I was like, this is weird. This is weird. This is awkward. I don't care about this at all. Also, Ashley is not Mauricio's type. All the women that we've seen him with, she might be high yellow, but she ain't white. All the ladies that we've seen him with have been white. Okay? So I don't see that happening. He also, and it wasn't even like Mauricio was flirting back. They were acting like banshees. Like, oh my God. And Mauricio was just being nice. Mauricio is just like, he sees a camera. He's like, okay, I'll go on it. I'm surprised he didn't have an agency hat on. Okay? Do you know what I mean? But I'm just like, it was just weird behavior. So Ashley and Stacey toasted them trying to work on their friendship. Ashley, when Mauricio arrives, Ashley whispers that, Mauricio is a single man now. Okay, no, he's not. Technically, he's not. He's separated, but he's not a single man. On paper, he is not a single man. Okay? But we know that hasn't stopped any of these people before. And I'm looking at you, Jazzy. I saw the comment that you made under your breath. Gizelle says that Mauricio would definitely be someone that she would spend some time with horizontally. I don't believe that either. That's not your type either. I think she just says things to say them. Oh, but maybe she would. But that's not her usual type. Okay? So Angel talks about talks with Mauricio about taking the ladies fly fishing experience from her company. So she talks a little bit about what that experience is like. Jazzy then makes a comment as everyone's still flirting and talking about Mauricio, and Stacey's really trying to be a wing woman for Ashley, and Ashley's a little thrown off. She's like, I've never seen Stacey be a homegirl. And I don't know if you guys have seen this, where Gizelle says that she believes that Timo and Stacey are back together, but she doesn't believe that Stacey is happy. Why would you say something like that? Unless she has said something to you directly. This is where I have to give them the side eye in regards to they do not respect people's relationships or marriages. Like, you don't say, if a couple is trying to work on their relationship and you believe that they're back together, you're going to say like, oh, but I don't think she's happy. I don't think she wants to be with him. I was just like, but we've seen a pattern of behavior from Gizelle. This is not new to us. We've seen this. She said it on Watch What Happens Live last night. But anyway, so Jazzy makes a comment. She says, don't let your friends keep you away from your husband. Oh, and it makes all kinds of sense because of the timeline of those two babies that happened during your relationship. Because a lot of people are saying that you were the side chick. Ooh. I'm telling you, this week, Jazzy, I still think Jazzy would be good for the show. But I'm like, Jazzy, really? She's like, don't let your friends keep you from your husband. That's probably what you were thinking when you were with Darius and he had the two babies by the other lady while y'all were together. But again, we're not sure if you were the side chick or the main chick. Just saying. Look, give you a little Gizelle movement. Just saying. Oh my goodness. Oh, I didn't see that. Young Eartha Kitt says, off topic, news broke that designer Valentino passed away. Rest in peace. Oh wait, we have a couple of super chats that I wanted to get into. Tish, thank you so much for the super chat. When did they make this agreement to stay out of it? Because Angel took shots for Kay in the beginning. That's why Angel went so hard after Wendy. I don't remember the exact thing that she said on Yee, but it was the recent interview that she apparently said that. I think it was on Yee. She did a couple of interviews that week. Young Eartha Kid, thank you for the super chat, says, when people have not been exposed to healthy relationships or know how to cultivate healthy relationships, communicating with your partner is a foreign concept. That's what it feels like. That healing journey is looking shaky in regards to Monique. Tish, thank you so much for another super chat. Tish says, and for being a member, while I do believe Bobby is a great husband to Angel, I don't think we are seeing a woman who is happy and fulfilled. It doesn't translate on screen. Angel has been giving miserable since day one. I can see that. Lonnie, thank you so much for the super chat and for being a member. Lonnie says, those women don't like to see a loving relationship. I felt bad for Angel. P.S. Don't forget to get your thank you, Lonnie. Don't forget your tickets for March 13th, Kempire After Dark. I can't wait. I'll see you on March 13th, Lonnie. I saw Lonnie when I went to Philly over the summer. Shout out to Philly. No, I'm not coming to Philly. That's why I say get your tickets. That's why Lonnie's coming to New York. Sunate, Sun Tane, I think that's how you pronounce it, says, I don't know how Gizelle was a first lady. Well, you know what? I think what Pastor Bryant did to her may have changed who she is. Maybe, because I've heard things about her during her first lady days too. Tyrese, thank you so much for the super chat. Tyrese says Tia may have been by default, but she's full time because she's full time. Oh, I see what you're saying, Tyrese, in regards to staying. So Jazzy is saying she doesn't want to say that. So Jazzy is saying because she's a friend of the show, they decided to put the two full-time housewives with Angel. Ah, good point, Tyrese. Didn't think about it. That's why I said, didn't I say it had something to do with the show? It felt like it had more to do with the show than it had to do about just Angel being shady. Because that's the kind of way that they were trying to make it seem. Like she was just being shady. I was like, it seems as if there's more happening here when it comes to the show. Rahina, thank you so much for another super chat. Rahina says, I would have cried and I would not be able to turn it around. I think a lot of people would have. A lot of these folks, these fans that were like, Angel's not made for the show. Some of y'all would not be made for this show. And they're like, that's why we're not on it. Well, you probably wouldn't even be considered. Sharon, thank you so much for Super Chat. Miss Sharon says, Jazzy isn't a wag. Jazzy's a bench warmer wag. Miss Sharon is lethal. But she was the one to tell us that her Darius was a bench warmer. Miss Sharon is our sports nista. She keeps us up to date. Way of Keith, thank you so much for the Super Chat. Keith says, remember when Gizelle wore paper mache wigs and drove a Fiat 500? What was that wig that she was wearing in this episode? That looked terrible, whatever wig she had on. They sure forget where they started. I need Quad on Watch What Happens Live every time Gizelle is on. I need Quad on a Housewives show because I was like, she probably would do very well, but she really doesn't have personal stories. So I was like, thank you so much, Sunatane. Thank you so much for the Super Chat. The way I would have had my lawyer on one phone and the pilot on the other, that contract would have been broken and they would have been left in Aspen. Nicole, thank you so much for the Super Chat and for being a member. She says, I'm sitting in the hotel in Atlanta cracking up. When it comes to the RHOP girls, Kempire shots be fired from the rooftop on each and every one. Oh my gosh, Nicole. Not on the rooftop. You know what? I'm envisioning it. Like, pow, 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 pow. Mr. Mellon Magic, thank you so much for the Super Chat for being a member. Mr. Mellon says, Klarna will not defend Afterpay because she wants to stay in Imp's good graces to be on the show. Mauricio's to me. That is why Kyle's doing the best. Y'all take this too far. Guys, I will drop the call link once we get to 1,000 likes. We have over 2,500 of you here for our Real Housewives of Potomac recap. I don't know why you haven't liked the video, but sometimes you need the reminder. Be sure to like the video if you haven't already. It's an easy, free way of supporting not just my channel, but other channels as well. That's how you discover new channels. So make sure that you're subscribing to those new channels. You might discover someone you love. That's how some of you discovered me. Don't forget, you can also hear our live recaps on the Kempire podcast. While you're there, don't forget to subscribe and give us a 5-star review on Apple Podcasts and on Spotify. And don't forget, we have the new coffee merch, the merch that you've been asking for. Yes, we have the Are You Okay merch. And shout out to those of you that have been buying the sweatshirts and the t-shirts and things like that. The Are You Okay merch is selling. Oh, like it's really, y'all are really getting y'all stuff. I appreciate it. Head on over to House of Kempire. That's HAUS, houseofkempire.com for more details, or thekempire.com and click the shop button. Okay? Mary Jane says that Darius is a practice player. Well, damn. Elise says that Kiana isn't a good friend. She's self-absorbed. Yeah, you're right. Look, come on. We got to call a thing a thing. We've seen her be a friend this season, and she's a high-maintenance friend. You would think that she'd be more involved, right? Lene says, Kempire, can we get your stuff on Temu? No. No. Unless someone's buying it and selling it there, no. She's self-absorbed. She expects you to stand for her, but won't do the same. Good point, Elise. I'm not going to deny it. Jen Falala says, we are not okay. We're not. Okay. Real House Husband says, good afternoon. I love Gizelle, but I would have told these women, but I guess the way that they treated Angel, I would have told these women where exactly they could go. And this is coming from someone that loves that loves Gizelle. So it's not just us. It's not just us. All right, y'all. So they're all flirting with Mauricio. Stacey's trying to be a good wing woman to Ashley. I'm not interested in this at all. Ashley says that she hasn't seen this side of Stacey as she's trying to hook her up with Mauricio. Gizelle's like, oh, she's trying to hook up with Mauricio. She's trying to get Mauricio's number, meaning Stacey. At one particular one, she calls Stacey Ashley. Gizelle tries to stop Ashley from flirting. Ashley says that there's been time long enough that Mauricio's been separated from Kyle. And she breaks it up. She's like, they're a hot mess. She's like, why are you calling them as a hot mess? She was very upset about that, being called a hot mess by Gizelle. She's like, don't say that in front of him, blah, 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 blah. They come back. Angel and Kay are trying to do caviar bumps on their dirty hands. I don't know if they washed their hands, y'all. I thought about that. I was like, ooh, did they wash their hands? They're doing caviar bumps. Okay, Gizelle says they are disgusting. Gizelle then says that she tells the group, she gets the group's attention because she's taking over this trip. She says, I've gotten us the executive suite at the Four Seasons, so we're all going to go there and have dinner tonight or tomorrow. I don't remember where they were going. Gizelle says potentially the next day they would have brunch and go home. And Angel's, well, first of all, when she's saying the executive suite at the Four Seasons, pay attention to Angel's body language, because Angel's sort of nodding her head, because I think Angel, I don't know if she booked it herself. I don't think she booked it herself, because we know production is doing this. But I think she was working with production on an alternative. So if you pay attention to Angel's body language in her head, she's like, as Gizelle is saying this, and so I'm thinking to myself, oh, she's like, so she knows about this. She's fully aware. And she said in the after show that she was the one that booked it. And Gizelle was like, no, I was the one that booked it. No, you weren't. No, you weren't. So Gizelle says that the next day they will have brunch and then go home. And it depends on what the group wants to do. Angel's like, no, we have another activity. And remember, this activity is something to promote her business. So that's why she's like, no, we have another activity. And she's like, well, it depends on what the group wants. So that's how the episode ends. The episode ends with that. So I feel like there's a lot going on here. I feel like production's heavy-handed in regards to their involvement this season because it was such a lackluster season. And it's making the fans confused. So I was like, what's happening here? What is going on? Like, who's doing what? Because we already know Gizelle's not the one who got the Four Seasons. But okay. Okay, I guess we'll have to wait till the reunion to get clarification, because I hope they break the fourth wall during the reunion. All right? All right, y'all. We're going to get to the call. If you're a member of the channel, I've already dropped the call link on the post tab here on YouTube. Live chat, once we get to 1,000 likes, I'll drop the call link for the general audience. But if we don't, that's fine. Replay crew, be sure to like the video. We appreciate our replay crew. Be sure to let us know your thoughts and opinions. If you're just joining us, happy Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. Day. Such an impactful person that continues reading his Nobel Peace Prize, that adaptation from his Nobel Peace Prize. That I read that for myself this morning on how inspiring that was, because I've been a little disheartened with everything happening in this country. So to kind of read something that he said, oh my gosh, at this particular point, how many years ago, was inspiring. So I was like, I had to bring that to you guys on this Dr. Martin Luther King federal holiday. So I hope that you guys were inspired by it as well. If you haven't already, guys, be sure to subscribe to the channel as well. AB, thank you so much for super chat. AB says, Gizelle said, if I can't have Mauricio, no one can. She's a hater. That's definitely the vibe she was giving. She's like, none of us, because she doesn't want drama with the Beverly Hills ladies. Do we think that she really doesn't want drama with the Beverly Hills ladies? I don't believe that at all. I'm sure this would be a plot that they talk about during the road trip. We don't care. Because honestly, I'm not going to defend Kyle either. Kyle was doing the bending, or was doing the bending with Morgan. I don't know. So fine. Scissoring. Okay. Ash, thank you so much for the super chat. Ash says, have you reacted to Candace's interview with Carlos? I didn't watch the full interview. I don't know if I do a video talking about any of the clips. I don't recall. Check the channel, Ash. I may have. I've covered so many different stories, I can't keep up. I can't keep up. But I may have reacted to it. Just not the full interview, because I definitely didn't watch the full interview. I did see clips, though. Gail says yes, I did. Okay, well. All right. All right, y'all. I'm doing a lot of talking, and I still have Married to Medicine recap at 3 p.m. So we're going to do this quick. 30 seconds. Please respect the timer, everyone. The opinions of the callers do not represent the opinions of myself, TheKempire LLC, or our sponsors, and everything that they say is alleged. And for those of you that are in the chat, let me know if you got your tickets, the live stream ticket or your in-person ticket, and the show meet and greet tickets for Kempire After Dark coming to the Green Room 42 on Friday, March 13th. It's less than 2 months away. So I'll see you guys then. All right, let's bring up O'Shea, calling all the way from South Africa. O'Shea, what's going on?
Hey, Kempire. As I was watching Quad and Watch What Happens Live last night, I realized Gizelle wouldn't last on any of the other housewives.
Right?
She really wouldn't.
I thought the same thing.
It's just that everyone is weak and are scared to tell her anything. And Quad was on a 2 compared to what she really is. So she was shaking.
That's fair.
And also, Angel really didn't break the water pipes. If these people had the money they claim to have, they would have left the same night that they had the problem when the water first went out. That's what I would have done.
Grown
but
people.
I have it like that. And this cast, they don't have it like that. They wanted it to get worse and worse so that they could have something to complain about. And
100%.
well, like you said, get to where we are at right now. But yeah, but thanks.
I agree. Thanks, O'Shea. They're grown adults. If you were a Four Seasons girl, you would have been at that Four Seasons. I'm like, production, I'm going to the Four Seasons. I will meet you guys there. All right. Know the Queen is backstage. Know the Queen, what did you want to share about Potomac?
Hey, Kempire.
Hey.
I just find it so weird how it's such an issue for Stacey to date Chris Samuels, but Ashley is about to fall over herself for Mauricio. I'm still trying to figure out what the difference is. It's just perturbs me. But also, I felt the same way you did about them ganging up on Angel. But on the flip side, I get very irritable around funk. My funk, your funk, our funk together. It's just going to turn me into a different person. So I see both sides of it.
I think we all see both sides. Like I'm not saying that they should be happy about no water and people being funky. I'm not saying that at all. I think people get that mixed up. Two things can exist.
Yeah. But I don't know. I might get a little evil if it's too much funk around me. I'm not going to lie.
So you're saying that plane was funky?
Everybody said they didn't take a bath. In a sealed plane. No, I would have been flipping out to you.
Ew, gross.
Call the air marshal.
But as a grown adult, you know what I would have done? I would have figured out I would take a bath.
Right.
Just saying.
That part.
I probably would have called Angel myself. I know we haven't been in the best place, but can I come to your house?
Mm-hmm.
But that's me, anyway.
Something.
Thanks, Know the Queen.
Thank you.
Bye. All right, let's bring Toya up next. Toya, what did you want to share about Real Housewives of Potomac?
Hey, Kempire, how are you?
Well, how are you? Are you hiding?
No, my husband's sleeping.
Oh.
He's
What
sleeping.
time is it?
It's late.
Oh.
It's 12:30, but I am.
It's a holiday.
Yeah, I just wanted to say, I think that you are one of the most fairest content creators. You do not play favorites with the housewives. I love that about you.
Thank you.
You don't play favorites. Also, Ashley was falling over herself. You know that Mauricio's her type. He's rich, older, and white, but he's actually attractive. She almost lost her mind. And I think that Angel should have tried to buy the ladies a gift at the Kimosabi place. Like one of those little $200 earrings that Wendy bought. I think that would have been a nice gesture to say I'm sorry. But I don't know if it would help because those ladies are
exactly. Evil. I don't think it would have helped. I'm glad she didn't waste her coins on those hateful heifers.
Hateful heifers.
I'm sorry. That's something that both of us, I think, I probably would have done. But they continued even when they went to the whiskey place. I mean,
yeah,
or wherever they went after. But I can. But you're right. Maybe. All right. Thanks, Toya. All right. Let's bring up Nia next. Oh, hold on. Taurus 2, we'll get to you in a second. Nia, there we go.
Hey, Kempire, how are you?
I'm well. How are you doing?
Good. So I don't know why everyone's hating on Gizelle, you know? I think she's such a girl's girl. You know, her logic is Mauricio is off limits, but Sharice's son isn't. I don't know what is wrong with this woman. That was sarcastic, by the way.
I know.
She just stays being a walking hypocrite and contradiction. I can't stand Gizelle, I'm sorry to say. But I do like the fact that Jazzy kind of got at Tia. I don't know why. I high-key want her to be a housewife next season. Again, she has a great storyline. And also the pile-on with Angel is just whack.
Yeah.
But yeah, have a great day.
You too, Nia. Take care. All right, let's bring up Taurus with the T. Taurus with the T, what did you want to share?
Hey, Kemp. Happy Monday.
You too.
Just wanted to say Ashley has the arousal level of a gnat. She will become aroused at a rock. So watching her have that exchange with Mauricio was just really pathetic. And I don't care how Gizelle tries to frame it. All of the little subliminal comments she was making about Mauricio still would not take up for the fact that behind the scenes she's trying to say that, no, I don't want to do that because he's with Kyle. Girl, bye. And Angel, please do not cry in front of these women. Do not show any kind of remorse. It was not your fault. Please air out production at the reunion because you should not be getting dumped like this. And Wendy, you are becoming so annoying. I cannot wait for your day in court. I'm going to take some PTO for that.
Oh, not PTO.
I'm so sick of her.
Thank you, Taurus with the T.
Okay.
Taurus is taking her PTO. Lord. Damn, shady. Taurus, still in our villain era. I don't know it's officially, but it's the top of this year. It's going to dissipate. I already started. I know you can't tell, but I have. Guys, we're almost at 1,000 likes. Keep liking. Once we get to 1,000 likes, I will drop the call link for you guys. Kay, thank you so much for another super check. Kay says, Kemp, your skin is skinny. Thank you. I'm glad that you can see it. All right. Thank you so much, Kay. Appreciate you. Not the Kay. Our Kay. All right. Let's bring up Shannon next. Oh, if you are on Twitch, I will drop the call link for you guys on Twitch. Just because I'm telling you guys, you need to chat with our friends on Twitch. All right, Twitch folks, I dropped the call link for you guys as well. Let me bring up Shannon next. Shannon, what did you want to share about Potomac?
Hey, Kempire, can you hear me?
Yes.
How are you doing today?
How are you?
Good. Like all the callers have said before, I really hated what happened with Angel. She really didn't deserve any of the backlash that she got. Although everything didn't work out with the accommodations, that still wasn't her fault. She should have reached out to try to express her sympathies and apologies and whatnot. But like she said, she wanted to fix her mode and everything like that. And I feel like that just gave Gizelle ammo to pile on to however she felt about her in the beginning anyway. And unfortunately, it led to her trying to be the HBIC and trying to take over everything. And I genuinely hope that Angel can bring the receipts at the reunion because it really needs to be told. As you already know, it's an edited show, so there's a lot of things that we don't know about. So hopefully we get to see everything. And I really love Stacey this episode. She had me belly laughing for a couple of scenes, honestly, with her little quirky moments. So it was happy to see with that part. But yeah, thank you for your time.
All right. Thank you so much. All right. I think The Wire is done, y'all. The Wire said no. All right. Let me see if I can. Am I still stuck? Yeah, I'm still stuck. Lord have mercy. Just when I thought I could do it. All right. Let's move on. Desi said Frozen. We get it. The Wire has won, y'all, officially. I'm going to change it before Married to Medicine. All right. Let's get to some more callers, guys. I'm going to bring up Dalen. It's been a while, Dalen. What's going on?
Hi, Kempire. Happy New Year. I never got to say Happy New Year.
You too.
This episode is kind of like a little snooze fest, but I'm on Angel's side this time, even though I'm haven't been a fan of her this season, really. And also, Tia does not do it for me. She's just there, to be honest. I don't know how she got a flute this season. But Stacey and Wendy are doing it for me. Gizelle is never going to change. And I feel like they need to do something with her. And Ashley, with her sexual expression, it comes off as predatory to me. It's kind of weird. And Jazzy, I kind of like her in the friend role. I don't see it for her as a flute holder yet, but I feel like she can grow in that friend role because she's in and out and she does it well, in my opinion.
Okay. All right. Thanks so much.
All right, and everyone have a good day.
You too. Yeah, something must be wrong with my timer too, y'all. So it must have been frozen. Lord, it's okay. We'll figure it out. Let me drop the call in link, guys. We're almost at the 1,000 mark, so we're gonna get there. Hold on, Hey, wrong camera. Oh, I can change. Yeah, guys, we have other camera views. I don't usually use them because I prefer my other one. Okay, all right. Let's bring up April Aries next. April Aries, what did you want to share?
Hi, Kempire. Good afternoon. So I agree. This episode was a little bit lukewarm for me as well. And I'm like you. I would have found a way to take a shower, okay? Give me a water bottle and I would have to take a HOE bath because you got to do what you got to do. And I feel like now that Angel has been, ganged up on and I didn't like it, hopefully if she does come back next season, that she'll be, more strategic and about how she says things because she joined in the pile on with Stacey, and some people, even if you pile up on them, they'll be remorseful, but I can see why Stacey didn't say anything because you joined in on the pile-on by giving breath mints at your house. That was messed up. But other than that, it's pretty cool. And Enjoy the rest of your day. I'm going to go back to work because they have me working, but it's okay.
Oh, hell no. All right. Thanks.
That's what I said. See you later, Kempire.
Thanks, April Aries. Take care. Elle My Bell's backstage. We're going to bring her up next. Elle My Bell, what did you want to share?
Hi, Kempire. I love those optimal angles.
I never use them anymore. I used to use them a lot back in the day, but I'm going to start getting back into them. But I just prefer my high quality camera, but it's fine. What did you want to share, Elle?
I just wanted to share that last week I also said some great things about Angel's trip, considering all circumstances. She put him on a private jet. They've never done that. With Monique's trip, they did do 2 private helicopters, but this is the first private jet. So she is stepping it up. I also wanted to say that I think she took Kay and Tia because they're housewives. Jassy is a friend of, so that makes a little more sense. And I just wanted to also include that I thought Gizelle was being very mean. She could take a season off. I know they're not going to get rid of her completely, but they could bring Karen back. She was just so mean that I'm just so turned off about it. And I just want to add, tomorrow's the official start of Aquarius season.
Oh, Lord. Happy Aquarius season. Oh, Lord. Okay. All right, Elle. Happy early birthday. Thank you for the reminder. I almost completely forgot. Shout out to all the Aquarius. I just literally had lunch with my favorite Aquarius bestie yesterday. I do like Aquarius. Would I date one? I don't know about that. But all right, hold on, y'all. Let me just see if I could fix this because I actually think it's my board here that's acting. So if I do a little switch them around. It might be this wire, y'all. It's a different wire. It might be a different wire. Let's see if that will fix it. But okay, I got to get out of here soon anyway. Let me bring up Tamara from Montreal. Tamara, what did you want to share?
Hi, Kempire. How are you?
Oh, well, how are you doing?
Good. Can you hear me? Because I'm on my Bluetooth.
Yeah, I can hear you. Perfect.
Okay, so I have not watched the show.
Mm-hmm.
I have not even seen your recap. I just landed from Cuba last night. Yes. So
how was Cuba? Wait, I'm sorry. I'll take time away from the. How was Cuba?
Oh my gosh, it was amazing.
Mm-hmm.
First of all, it's very humbling in terms of what people really need there. Like the staff was amazing. I went to Cayo Coco, this great resort, and let me tell you, like it just puts things in perspective in terms of how fortunate we are, and what they like, just the little things. It was amazing. The beaches are the best.
Ooh.
And full buffet. I took full advantage of the buffet. And people were clapping. Like when people come from the outside, like I'm in Canada, right?
Yeah.
They would clap when we would come in to the buffet. Like, thank you so much for supporting us, you know. So it was great. So
but now back to RHOP. Go ahead.
Yeah, landed last night. So I didn't see RHOP because it airs on Sunday.
Yeah.
But I did see the after show.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so so from what I saw, and I had so much to say from that thing, the whole Mauricio and them coming on to him and Gizelle blocking and all that, I was like, okay, Gizelle, you did block a little bit. So keep in mind, I didn't see the show. I'm about to watch it, and okay, from what I saw that. Oh, sorry. I want all of them back. All of them. I want Jazzy back. I want Karen, Monique, all of them.
Ain't
back.
enough room in the budget. Ain't enough room in the budget. I will say this, though. I will say this, and this is exclusive. They are casting.
They're casting new people?
They're casting. That's all I'll say. Thanks, Tamara.
Oh, man. Okay, thanks. Have a good one.
I did hear that. I forgot to tell you guys. But can you imagine the amount of stuff I'm going to tell you on March 13th at Green Room 42? Get your tickets. Thank you so much, Teach, for the gifting of the memberships. Thank you so much. We appreciate you. All right, let me bring up Tish. Tish, what did you want to share?
Hey, Kempire, how are you?
Oh, well, how you doing?
You're looking good. I really like to see you from this angle. We get to see your body. Yeah, you're looking good.
I've been looking at my body. What's going on, Tish?
I am not enjoying Angel like the rest of you are.
Oh.
And I'm not defending her like the rest of you are. I'm not going to lie. When Gizelle said too late, I don't know if it's the Virgo in me, but I was just like, yes, too late, ma'am.
Oh, okay.
No, the 3 S's that Gizelle said she needed, I think everybody needs those 3 S's. Also, I just find a lot of inconsistencies with Angel. On Angela Yee's show, she said to Angela Yee, Gizelle did book her own accommodations. So I'm assuming that Gizelle did go ahead and book the 4 seasons thing, because Angel confirmed that on Angela Yee's interview. She said that Gizelle went ahead and booked it. She also said one thing that I found to be interesting when she told Kierna, this is not encouraging me to even want to come back to Maryland. So then did you really just join the show to film? As in you moved here to film? I don't know. Angel, I'm on the fence. Anyway.
No. Okay.
Happy MLK Day.
You too.
Thanks for
Tish.
the body.
Thanks, Tish. Well, I think people misunderstand because we take these episodes week by week. Y'all saw our recaps in the early parts of the season. We weren't big fans of Angel. Still probably not big fans of Angel. What we are not liking is the pylon. The pylon it's not fun to watch. It's just like, okay, we get it. You guys aren't happy. There are issues happening here. But the pylon just feels like bullying. But that's me. All right, Keith's backstage. You want to bring Keith up next. Keith, what do you want to share?
Hey, Kempire.
Hey.
So first things first, shout out to Martin Luther King, an actual Nobel Peace Prize winner. But also I wanted to say that I don't know if I'm just an overspender or just Potomac is just extremely, extremely cheap, but I'm like $500, $1,200 for items in Aspen. Really isn't that much money, especially when you consider that Real Housewives of Beverly Hills is buying Birkin bags on camera because they actually aren't returning the bags later on. So it's like 500,000. I mean, that's cute, but it's in comparison to a lot of other franchises, even Atlanta, it's really not that much. But also, I just don't like that Gizelle says stand up and the ladies stand up and she says look forward and the ladies look forward. Like, do they not have a brand of their own?
No.
It just seems like they're desperate to be around Gizelle, and Gizelle isn't even that interesting. She's not funny, she's not shady, she's not fashionable, she's not that intelligent, she don't know basic dictionary words. I'm like, girl, what's your purpose on this show? I mean, like, why are you here? Like, she can go, bring back Karen. I'm glad that Karen is back. And now that Karen is back, Gizelle, you can leave. That's it.
Damn, Keith. Bye. Keith, Red Hudale. Miss Sharon's backstage. We'll bring Miss Sharon up next. Miss Sharon, what did you want to share?
Hey, Kempire, how you doing today?
I'm well. How are you?
I'm doing fine. I just had to let you know that the New England Patriots won, and Trey Diggs did play, and he caught a touchdown.
Okay.
Yeah, so he scored. Yeah, so I was happy for him. I thought he was going to miss the playoffs.
Wait, Trey Diggs or Stephon?
Stephon Diggs. I'm sorry.
Oh, okay. I was like, wait, because I don't know the sports. I need these things to be correct. Okay.
Yeah, Stephon Diggs. You know who I think about? Trayvon Diggs. I don't know why. Okay. But yeah, he caught a touchdown. They were really good. They end up winning their game, so they're going off to the NFC playoffs. Next week. They're gonna play. Oh God, who they play? Oh, Seattle Seahawks. Okay. And I don't know what was wrong with San Francisco 49ers. They act like they never seen an end zone or been to the Super Bowl before. They lost big time. But getting back to the show, Gizelle was a real mean girl. That was horrible. And I normally stick up for Gizelle. But this time, no, I felt so bad for Angel.
Yeah.
And I cried because it was so bad.
Yeah.
But I didn't really like this episode. So, and it's gonna go down from here. I don't know what to say. But anyway, Kempire, I'll let you go because you're gonna talk about Married to Medicine, and I don't want to keep you.
Thank you. Thank you, Miss Sharon. Take care.
Bye-bye.
Bye. We have a long line backstage, too. So I'm going to get through these callers. One of the things that I said on X yesterday, because I tweet while I'm watching it, I said, Bravo, I need to see these results from the focus groups. Because I know Bravo does focus groups on to see how the audience is reacting to certain people and talent. I can't imagine, especially now, because you're already seeing, just based off of the chat and people calling in, that actually used to like Gizelle. Everyone this week is just like, she's become so unlikable. I feel the same way about Ashley. She's become very unlikable, if she ever was likable. I just don't imagine that they think that this is working. Especially when Quad is saying Married to Medicine is getting better ratings than Potomac and Salt Lake City. They're prize fighters over there at Bravo. But that's me. All right. We have Marilyn backstage. Marilyn, what did you want to share?
Hey, Kempire. How is everyone doing?
Pretty good, you?
Love all your angles.
Thank you.
So I have so many thoughts, but the first one is for Miss Cece. Listen, girl, I got gathered last week for saying some nasty things by the chat and by Kempire. So take it all in and come back next Monday. You'll be fine.
You did? I don't even remember.
Yeah. It's when I was talking about Giselle's neck. That was it.
Oh.
My other thought is on the grumpy stuff. I had gone for Vipassana and there was no water, and I wasn't able to meditate. So they needed water there. But I also think that it was a scheme that the girls conjured up. They didn't want to be 1 hour far away from everyone else. They thought the other girls had cameras up on their side. This is the first time there was overnights and there was no cameras at the houses. I think they messed up the pump so that they could get moved. Aside from that, I was glad to see Mauricio. He's cute.
Mauricio's looking good. The body's looking tight, since he was on Dancing with the Stars.
He was.
And single. Okay. Thanks, Marilyn. All right. Mom of the South, what did you want to share about Real Housewives of Potomac?
Hey, Kempire, how y'all doing today?
I'm well, how are you?
MLK Day.
You too.
Let me break this down real quick. The beginning of the show, what I don't understand is they said they didn't have any water, but how was the man in there cooking? And I thought that they said that he turned the water on for them. And back in the day, if you don't have no water in the pipes, you always get bottles of water, put it on the stove, and take it in the bath and have a whole bath. With Monique saying something about angel marriage. Girl, in season 5, you said all marriage should be off limits. So now you're talking about somebody else's marriage. Then you got Angel, girl, get it together. Don't let these people see you sweat. You came at Stacey, you came at Wendy from the beginning. Y'all piled on there. Now you see how it feels when you get piled back on. You got Ashley, you sitting up there buying a $4,000 thing. If you was married to the vampire of the underworld, you wouldn't even be able to get that. You would only be able to get a pen. You sit up there trying to go with Mauricio or whatsoever. And if I was Sharice, I would have my son check to make sure he don't have any STDs. That's all I got.
Damn. Mama's out red out fulfilled. Lord have mercy. All right. LH Nails is backstage. LH Nails, what's going on?
Damn. That last caller, I don't think I can follow that up. Damn.
Oh, you have to. What's going on?
You have to check yourself for STDs. Anyway, Ashley is gross. I might as well just go on. Ashley is so gross. Ashley is gross for Sharice's son. Ashley is gross for Gollum. Ashley is gross for Maurice. What is the issue? I was braiding my hair while she was making those drinks, and the girl that's braiding my hair is relatively young. She said that P word so many times. I almost turned it off.
I know.
I was like, I can't be watching this near a child. And then Bobby needs to give Angel the Bravo check and get her off the show. Okay, that's it, because she's not doing well and it's not good for her business. It can't be. Okay. That's it. Bye, Kempire.
Thank you, LH Nails. I get it. Some of these housewives that you want to see on the show, they end up, their husbands are like, no, we're not doing that. How much do you want to pay you? I'll pay you. We'll increase your allowance. All right, maybe that's Bobby. Maybe that's what you need to do. And then, Angel, what you do, you put it in your FU fund that Bobby doesn't know about. Just in case, I'm not alluding to anything, but you got your FU fund, and you take that salary and you put it in your FU fund. Then when you do your FU fund, you take some of the money out of your FU fund, put it in some stocks and bonds, so that are you hearing me? Make sure you're invested. Don't just have it sitting in some stupid savings account. No, you have your FU fund. Some of your FU fund should be in cash. Some of your FU fund should be in the bank, and some of your FU fund should be in in some stocks and bonds. Okay? And some international stocks as well. Okay. All right, Excommunicado's backstage. Excommunicado, what did you want to share? I can't hear you, Excommunicado. You're muted. Excommunicado, you probably can't hear me. Maybe not. I'll come back. All right, let's try Princess Leia. Princess Leia, what's going on?
Hey, Kim, can you hear me?
Yes.
I'm having some difficulty over here. Anyway, with Jizzy, she was bearable before her banter with Karen and everything, but this week she really definitely sent me over the edge with the whole Mauricio of it all. How you go from saying you'll lay that man down the horizontal way and all that stuff, but then you cock blocking on Ashley when Stacey trying to be her hype woman. Girl, bye. And then with Kiarna, I can't deal with her. Angel, stand up. Okay, because Kiarna's not your friend. Whatever agreement y'all had, I get if it was one-on-one, but it's literally all on one. As your friend, she should be speaking up. Even if it's to quell everybody else's feelings, she should still safeguard yours. So no, I would not let my friend go out like that. 6-on-1, I'm swinging. Hands and feet.
Thanks, Princess Leia. Bye. All right, let me try Excommunicado. Are you there, Excommunicado? No, Excommunicado is normally there. All right, let me bring up Anthony next. Anthony, what did you want to share?
Oh, it's better myself.
Hey, everybody. Anthony from Los Angeles, California. How are you?
I'm well. How are you?
Good, thank you. Happy Martin Luther King Day. Happy New Year. For this episode, I'm going to give it a 7 out of 10, as well as this season. 7 out of 10. It's pretty solid so far. 2 notes, Angel and Stacey. Angel, this is pretty much a bad trip. I don't remember the last time we had this much of a mess for a trip for Potomac. So, Angel, you're going to have to, you take the L on this one. But I understand because, I mean, these ladies are just ungrateful and just, ugh. But lastly, for Stacey, I need Stacey to teach me about finance, budgeting, and saving because I can hear her all day, like QVC. But that's about it. Thank you so much, Kempire. Have a good one, everyone.
You too, Anthony. I mean, Stacey continues to win for me because she's not letting these women navigate how she is on this show. She's not falling for the okie doke. Although I do wish she had stepped up a little bit more on the plane when they were all piling on Angel. But for the most part, I feel like she's having a stellar season. All right. Darian is backstage. Darian, what did you want to share?
Hey, Kempire. I'm going to try to keep it quick.
Okay.
I really just wanted to hit a few points. Number one, it definitely seems like this cast of women is misery loves company. And they all think that divorce is the road to self-discovery. And I just don't agree with that framing. Angel, if you don't want to be around the girls, you have to leave the show, unfortunately. But then just lastly, I want to say thank you for speaking out about everything, you know, like as far as like politics and everything. A lot of influencers stay in their lane. So I really, really appreciate that, especially on MLK Day. So just want to say thank you for everything. That's all.
I will say this, Darian. Some of them should stay in their lane. Matt Rogers and Bowen Yang. Just saying. All right. Thank you, Darian, for calling in. Let me bring up Martha. What's going on?
Hi, Kempire. This is my first time.
I know. I can say I've never seen this name before. What's going on? I'm not going to read your full government.
You'll probably see my screen name because I've done super chats. It's MLOFO.
Oh, yes. Thank you so much for
calling in. So calling in for the first time, calling from Houston, Texas.
Okay.
So sad about Houston losing to the Pats last night, but it is what it is. Correction from the person that was telling you about that. The Patriots actually play the Broncos next, not Seattle.
Okay.
So anyway, but yeah, I give this episode a 7. Can't stand Gizelle. Never could have stood her ever. I think she's a bully. And also just me being a therapist, it just kind of hurts me to see people get piled on, you know, because we have to see the human side in people. And I really don't think that she meant any harm and she went into fix-it mode.
Yep.
So that was just her natural reaction. And sure, the nerves probably kicked in being the first time on this show and things are not going right. So I have to give Angel some grace when it comes to that.
Okay. All right, Martha.
But yeah, that's it.
Thanks, Martha, for calling in for the first time.
Thank you. Have a good day.
You too. All right, let me get to these calls. We have a long line, and y'all know I will be live again at 3 p.m. Eastern for our Married to Medicine recap. I actually have a lot to say about Married to Medicine, so let's buckle up. Audrey's backstage. Audrey, what did you want to share?
Hey there, Kempire.
Hey.
Hi, happy MLK Day.
You too.
Real quickly, yeah, I think Gizelle is difficult to watch. It's painful to watch. I think she's very mean. As for Angel, though, I do understand what the girls are talking about. If you didn't have water, you'll be upset too. And if you notice, they said you didn't even check in. And I think they're right about that. She didn't. So I thought that was, they had a point. And then also, I think with Angel sitting there crying, she is not equipped for this show. Like, you just can't take it. And what you said about Stacey, yeah, it would have been nice if she, stepped in. But did Angel step in when they would start making fun of Stacey?
Does two wrongs make a right?
No, no, it doesn't. But I'm just saying, but if you notice, Stacey kind of but she also didn't pile on. So it was just like, like what you said real quickly, what you said about the focus group.
Yeah.
Like, I do think they need to do that. This is not enjoyable. Nobody wants to see that. And the thing when they would talk about the money, that was cringe. Like, please.
That's for me, that moment was very produced moment. That's what I felt like. It was production saying, let's talk about all the things that you guys spent and da-da-da-da. I was like, we don't need to know that, especially for Wendy.
I agree. Oh, and to second what that woman said, thank you for everything you've been saying about politics as well. Now I'm like kind of like go from Don Lemon to you, and I'm like, oh, let me
shout out to Don Lemon. He's in Minnesota right now.
I know, like doing the Lord's work, but I like when you weigh into because you have an important voice as well. So thank you for that. Have a wonderful rest of your day.
You too. Thanks, Audrey. Shout out to Don Lemon because he does not have to do the work that he's doing, guys. He does not need to be in the streets. He got a nice payout from CNN. Don Lemon is just passionate about journalism, and he's a real journalist. So I do appreciate. Do we always agree with Don Lemon? We can all say no. However, I appreciate the work that he's doing in regards to being an independent source of journalism. So if you're not following his YouTube channel, you should, because he's covering all of this stuff right now, and he's on the ground in Minnesota right now. All right, let me bring up Miss Gucci Diva. Miss Gucci Diva, how are you doing?
I'm great. How are you, Kempire?
I'm fantastic. What did you want to share?
I wanted to say Happy New Year, Happy Martin Luther King Day. I didn't have anything to say about the show because I'm kind of over it. I just wanted to let you know, love, that your complexion looks impeccable.
Oh, thank you.
That's all I wanted to say. Have a blessed week.
You too, Miss Gucci Diva. Take care.
Okay, bye-bye.
Bye. I love it. I'll take the compliments. All right. Let me try Miss Excommunicado again. Excommunicado, are you there? No? Oh, wait. Are you there?
Yeah, hi, Kempire.
Hey, what's going on?
Yeah, can you hear me?
Yes, can you hear me?
I'm good. I hope, is the background noise too much?
Yes.
Okay, so can you come back to me because I'm at the mall, so probably that's why I missed it before.
Okay, bye. Shopping. Let's do the college. Shopping. Pick me up something. All right, Miss Esquire's backstage. We're going to bring Miss Esquire up next. Miss Esquire, what did you want to share about Real Housewives of Potomac?
Well, hello, Martin Luther Kempire. How are you?
Our best.
Happy MLK Day.
You too.
Okay, so here's the thing. Two things can be true. We have to work on our nuance on this show because it can be very true that Angel poorly planned and even more poorly executed this trip, and that they have a point in bringing that up to her.
Yeah.
They just don't have to use that point to skewer this woman time and time again. And that's where I'm like, you losing the plot, and it looks like again you taking another opportunity to kick somebody on this show while they're down, and I can't take your complaints seriously.
Yep.
So that's my problem. It's like, I want to be able to sometimes say, you know what, Gizelle, you're right. I would love to be able to say that, but she takes it too far. You take it too far. And then I have to say, I have to be over here with the catfish girl. So, because the trip was poorly planned, let's be clear. You could not have me somewhere an hour and a half from you. I ain't never been here before with no water. And you don't have an itinerary.
And you're not
checking up on me, and you gave me kind of false pretenses for what the trip was going to be. Like, yeah, you can't do that. Like, you couldn't do that with any group of grown women. You can't do that on a work trip, because that's essentially what this is. They already are irritated.
But as a grown woman, what would you have done?
Honey, I would have checked myself into the 4 seasons and I wouldn't have made no announcement about it. I wouldn't have made, I would have said, honey, I really appreciate the effort that you made, but unfortunately those accommodations are just not up to par. So I went ahead, just to save you the pressure and the stress, I went ahead and booked myself a suite at the 4 seasons. Y'all are welcome to come over. I'm not trying to take over your trip, but I did have to take over my accommodations. And that's it. But I'm a Virgo. I don't ask nobody for permission to do something.
And I would have been right up behind Miss Esquire and said, what's our plan?
Right. I'm like, but I just don't think I think Angel is, but I do think Angel's attitude was a little stank the first day and then she got humble and that was a little too late. But again, just because she's right, 2 wrongs don't make a right, and things definitely went left. Yep. So I can't take Gizelle seriously. Also, I'm like, why are you cursing at this girl? She needed a moment. Angel needed a moment to say, who the hell are you talking to?
Yes.
I don't know why people won't say that to Gizelle. She clearly has not been slapped enough in the face in her lifetime.
We do not promote violence. Ms. Esquire, thank you so much. Thank you for calling. Bye. Especially my legal representation is not telling me to be violent. All right. Speaking of legals, we got Coco Esquire backstage. Represent yourself. What's going on?
What's up? Hey to my good sis, Miss Esquire. Kim, this show was whack. I just think they need to recast everything and center this around Stacey. I don't know what's going on, but I'm not even interested in watching it. But what I did want to, one thing it does bring up for me is this, going back to this colorism issue from a few years back. When you think about it and pierce the fourth wall or whatever, I now understand what Candace and Wendy were trying to articulate. There's something going on behind these seasons that emboldens Gizelle to basically be a colonizer on the set. And it's just not a good look for her this many seasons in, as we saw her kind of get chin checked by Quad last night on Watch What Happens Live. She is just not that girl. Yeah. She's not the girl. She could not, and Quad wasn't completely accurate in what she was reporting on, but Quad wasn't right. But also Quad kind of tried to hold her feet to the fire. And I really appreciated seeing Gizelle kind of backpedal. Yeah. A bit.
She needs more of that.
We need more of that. So maybe go to DC. The other thing is I want to talk about Nene and Bethany, but my time is
we'll have to do a special live before we could talk about that. But we can have a larger conversation this week.
I want to respect your timer.
Thank you. Thank you so much for calling in. Take care. All right. One of the things that in regards to the colorism that she brought up, I think she's right. And we've talked about this before. The fact that they never had an actual professional come in and be a neutral party to have this conversation, both not just for the cast, but for production and the executives over there, they also needed that. Because what we're seeing, especially when we look at the cast of Road Trip and the favoritism that's very clear that's happening there, that's why I said the comment that I said on social media. You're not telling me if they are actually doing focus groups that Gizelle and Ashley are coming across likable to the audience. I have thousands of people that come through this channel that are saying the same thing. Bravo, I know you come to this channel and you're watching. So you see what the audience is saying. It's not making sense. And we should start normalizing giving some of these housewives breaks. I'm not saying fire them, but give them a break. Well, technically it's fire. You're not getting your contract renewed. You're not getting paid. But give them a break, because at the end of the day, you have a responsibility to your audience as well. But I've already told you, I would say this is going to keep coming up because you guys never healed. You just put a Band-Aid on the situation from a couple of years ago. But I think normalizing, giving these people a break to the opportunity where we can miss them. It's the whole J-Lo effect. You see how now people are turning on J-Lo. We need a break, J-Lo. J-Lo's like, how I get in this? Okay. All right. Let me move on. Let me get to the rest of these calls. But before we do that, let me say thank you. We had, V-Life says in regards to bad trips, their Austin trip and Miami trip. You're right, V-Life. You're right. Brandy, thank you so much for the super chat, for being a member. Brandy says, F asking, I would have called Angel like, hey girl, we outside the gate. Open the door so I can get into the shower. F for serious though. I agree. I just said, even if Angel and I had fallen out, I'd be like, Angel, girl, I know we ain't in the best place, but I need to wash my ass. I need to wash my ass. No, come on. I probably would have called Bobby. Bobby! Well, first of all, I remember I was already at Bobby's house in regards to Bobby and Ashley's house. Ashley's. Oh, not by Ashley's. Angel's house. I'm like, I'm staying here anyway. Tease, thank you so much for Super Chat. Another one. She says, I want to gift some memberships to celebrate my birthday and the end of Capricorn season. Well, Tease, thank you so much for gifting the memberships. I saw that. We appreciate your support. Always. Linda, thank you so much for being a member for the Super Chat. She says, Angel's business is based on hospitality and service. This is not looking good for her business. Even if she doesn't have any control over the accommodations, this is not looking good for her business. I said it last week. I'm saying it again this week. Hence why she's so mad about Gizelle trying to say that they're not going to do the fly fishing, because that's going to be about her business. Remember, she said the fly fishing is something that they do as their luxury experience. I might have to book a trip so I can I want to go to Colorado, though. All right. Kay, thank you so much for another Super Chat. Kay says, Angel only cared about her company. She didn't care one bit about the rest of the ladies, and she's obsessed with celebrities. Too many mentions of celebs. I agree. And when she introduced her friends, she was like, he does this, he does that, blah, 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 blah. And it was like, and apparently those guys that they were introducing were married, so they weren't single guys for them. Allegedly. RC, thank you so much for the Super Chat and for being a member. RC says, to clarify, Trayvon and now we're talking sports. Trayvon and Stephon Diggs are brothers. Stephon's court date was pushed to mid-February so that he can make it to the Super Bowl. He can play in it. Yeah, a lot of people are speculating they did that on purpose. Miss Sharon says, yes, sorry, the Pats are playing Denver, not Donkeys. Broncos, AFC Championship game. I love how we're talking sports, and I'm just sort of like, when we get to the Super Bowl so I can dance to Bad Bunny. When do we get to the Super Bowl? When are we going to... I'm just glad Travis Kelce's not going to be in the Super Bowl. All right. Let me get to the last couple of calls, y'all. We know's backstage. We know, what did you want to share? We know?
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Hey, Kemp. I just want to address, for Angel, the reason I can't see it for her is because the women addressed it before. She didn't follow up. And now it's the following morning. We're mad, right? So we gave you that opportunity. So now we mad. And of course, it feels like a pile on because the other women was taking a shower last night, rubbing their feet together in cool air. They was asleep, right?
Mm-hmm.
So that's why they're not going to speak up. So I can understand why it felt like a pile on, but I think it was deserved. And what we don't need is another unchecked Pisces on television, because what we end up with is Tamar. But anyway, thanks, Kemp.
Thanks, We Know. And you see how We Know did that? She came in my house. She took her shoes off. She expressed her opinion, even though it differed than mine. But she didn't come up on here and says, when did you become an Angel stan? Da, 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 da. Y'all really want people to just to fall into whatever group you want. That's not happening. Okay? Not Chiefs Kingdom. I got the people bad. Lottie's backstage. What's going on, Lottie?
Hey, Kim. How are you?
Well, how are you?
Good. So just from a business standpoint, this was Angel's opportunity to really use this platform, to really promote her business, and the fact that you can't even put this together. Why would I spend my money to go to Wanderland or Wanderland, whatever it's called, to have you book this luxury excursion when you can't even do that for the cast members and you have a full production to help you plan this trip?
Or set you up.
Exactly. So why are people doing that? This is also not it was also cringe, her introducing the guys, talking about, this person has this, I'm also on the board. This person also is a financial advisor, blah, blah, blah. Well, first of all, if he doesn't work for BlackRock or something like that, he is not dealing with people who have billions. Let's get that straight. So the second part is I can understand the girls, aggravation. I thought it was very cringy. But if you look from season 1 to now, Gizelle has gotten emboldened.
Mm-hmm.
And to your point, Bravo watches, NBC watches you and understands how people are feeling. From a business aspect, Bravo really needs to take a look at their cast. Ashley needs to go. Gizelle needs to go. They're not worth the salary that they're paying them. They're not bringing in views. Viewership has gone down. as a business decision, they really need to say, you're not bringing anything, so why am I paying you the salary that we're paying you?
And we're filming you get your second hole in your ear.
Exactly. You bring no context, you bring no quality, no one wants to see you, you're getting annoying. Why are we cutting you a check? So I think that they just need to really, as you mentioned, they were casting, they need to get rid of them, because if you're not bringing context to the show and bringing viewerships, why is NBC and Bravo paying you?
A lot of money too, because they've been on since the beginning.
Exactly. It's time to go. Hopefully they have a good investment account and find something else to do in their second part of life, because they need to be on Bravo.
And you're in their second bloom. Lonnie, thank you so much for calling in.
Thank you.
Bye. Elise is backstage. We're going to bring Elise up next. Elise, what did you want to share?
Hey, Kempire.
Hey.
This is my first time back since last year.
Oh.
I just want to say all the Aquarius to the front. It's our season coming up.
All right.
So I agree with the caller that said it's a little bit too late at this point for, Angel to be offering accommodations, because when we first woke up that morning, you should have been saying something. You should have been sending us all a text like, hey, ladies, I heard, you guys still had a rough night and morning. This is what I have planned. I made some other accommodations, but no, Miss Angel, she decided not to do that. And so, no, I would have been the same way. I'm sorry. I'm almost perimenopausal, so I almost understand. Like, it's hot. We stank. We ain't been able to take a shower. And when our our hormones start changing, we are enraged. Especially if our cortisol levels are high. And those women ain't emptying their tanks, often enough. So I understand, honey, because when I ain't had none, and then I'm hot and stanky,
and you can't flush.
You better run.
And you can't flush.
You better run.
Oh, damn.
That part. Ugh.
Oh, it's a mess. I do feel for them in that regard. Please understand, my defense of Angel has nothing to do with the accommodations. I understand their frustration. But like P-Dub says here, address it, be frustrated, but there's no reason to be that mean.
Right. Yeah, for me, just wait till tomorrow. We'll give you a chance at the fly fishing for us to get over it. But today, I don't want to hear from you, honey. You getting dust to me. I'm not talking to you.
Damn. All right.
That's just me. That's all I wanted to say. Bye.
Thanks, Elise. All right, guys, we're going to get to these last couple of callers, and then I have to go because, like I said, I have Married to Medicine at 3 p.m. Eastern. That's in about 45 minutes, so I don't have much time. We're going to bring up De La Shay next. De La Shay, what did you want to share?
Hey, Camp. Not that people got me zooming in on your skin. Butter needs to increase that budget. I haven't heard you
hear that, Butter?
In a while. But also in the spirit of nuance evoked by the fabulous Miss Esquire, I feel like critiques are both opportunities to grow and kick them where the good Lord split them. You know what I mean? So, Angel keeps acting like she's a part of Troop Beverly Hills and the girls are just supposed to do what she says and not participate. I don't understand that. It's just so weird. And I'm saying that as a term of endearment on the second hand of it, because one of the reasons why Stacey's star has gotten so bright, has gotten the opportunity to shine so bright, is because of the adversity that the girls have pushed her against the rope with, right? It's in those moments we see if you can fight or flight. And Angel is giving crawl in the corner and fly away. And it's just not good. It's an opportunity to just lean in and clap back. And I'm tired of RHOP being synonymous with the sunken place. I need the girls to stand up.
All right, De La Shay.
Period. And shout out to you, Camp. I just moved. So, send me some good vibes.
Bye. Oh, okay. Where'd you move to?
Well, I was in bougie Kensington, fabulous for me. And now I'm next door in South Slope, right across from Prospect Park. So, it's just a sublet for now because I'm planning on just leaving the country for a minute in Costa Rica.
I don't blame you.
I need to go back.
I don't blame you. All right, De La Shay.
You can come with me. I got a cute little Airbnb in Panama we can hit up. Message me.
All right, De La Shay. Take care. All right. We're going to take these last couple of callers. There was something that she mentioned that I wanted to say, and I can't remember, but it's okay. I'll move on. Let's bring up Excommunicado now. Excommunicado, what's going on? Excommunicado, still at the mall. Still at the mall. We're going to bring you down. Excommunicado, we tried. Let's bring up Jamie next. Jamie, what's going on?
Peace and blessings, Kempire. Always good to see you.
You too.
I'm not going to say too much on Potomac because they're pathetic. I'm getting really over these gals. Gizelle is so miserable. And isn't today a court date for Wendy?
I don't think it's today. Is it today? Oh, wait, maybe it is today.
The 19th?
Oh, no, but court will be closed.
Oh, okay.
I think it's
soon.
this week. I think it's this
we'll
week, though.
follow up because, but I really wanted to call in because I noticed this whole colorism thing. I don't know how you feel particularly, but I would love if you would have a live on off hours, of course, with this community, your community, because it seems like it's hurting a lot of people. This Potomac cast just ruined. I just hate it for us as Black women and women of color, because it's not just Black women who deal with colorism.
Yeah.
It's the Indians, it's the Asians.
Yeah.
And I'm really sad. I just hate it, and I'm sorry to go over time, but it's of course you can always, think about it, but I feel like your community to chime in, it would be nice to hear what people have to say because I live in Georgia. I grew up in Atlanta, and on the Atlanta cast, it doesn't reflect what I grew up around. I don't see a lick of light-skinned women on the show, and there's no outrage. And I understand what colorism is, but it's like, what is happening? Why are we still here? If Gizelle is the problem, then let's just say she is the problem. But Wendy's behavior and where she is right now is not because of colorism. I just feel like we really need to have a deeper conversation as a community because it is so hurtful to keep hearing so many people and their opinions and bringing it up on Potomac. And what are we doing? So I'm sorry. I just wanted to call in real quick about that. I'll save any other opinions of these girls on Potomac for another call in because I'm tired of them. They're miserable. That's it. I don't know how you feel about doing a personal live, late night, whatever, on another time, because this is really serious. A lot of people are hurting, and I don't know how we're going to ever get past this.
No.
But that's it.
Thanks, Jamie, for calling in.
Thank you, Kempire. Have a good one.
You too. And that's one of the things that I said, that Bravo, as a show that and a platform that has millions of dollars and millions of viewers that watch the show, they failed their audience by not addressing it appropriately and leaving it in the inexperienced hands of the cast to make the decision not to do it. I think as employers, they had a responsibility to do it. But one of the things I've always said about the conversation on colorism, we have to remember at the root of colorism. This is not taking either side of the conversation. The root of colorism, and it's a perfect conversation to have today when we're celebrating Dr. Martin Luther King Jr.'s birthday. The root is racism. The root is to separate us as a community. And that's what, literally, I see it happen. It literally separated the community when it comes to talking about shows like Real Housewives of Potomac. It separates us and it takes us away from the actual goal of ending racism and ending the social structures that are historically racist. So, yes, I definitely think we should be talking about colorism, but we always have to remember at the root of colorism is racism and their way of trying to separate us so that they can remain strong. Just keep that in mind. I'm not an expert in the topic, but we can find some experts and bring them on the channel, and we can have an educated conversation about it. All right, let me get to the rest of the callers. Let me bring up Duchess D. Duchess D, what did you want to share?
Hello, Kempire. Happy MLK Day.
You too.
I'll be very quick. Stacey, I understand you are a nice person, but please tread lightly with Gizelle and Ashley. They're being friendly right now. That doesn't mean they're going to be friendly to you the entire time. Just be very careful. Part of why people like you so much is because you aren't joining in on their mean girl clique. Don't fall for it. And then the only other thing I have, I don't know, this is super random. I don't know if there are any Drag Race fans on live now or who are watching RHOP, but this season of Drag Race, there's a contestant named Discord, and Discord has a very distinct runway walk that makes the judges laugh. It looks ridiculous. And every time I see Discord do her runway walk, I think of when Karen was imitating Wendy doing the slither. And so I crack up every single time. You would have to watch the show to see it, but it's a very distinct walk. Her back is all the way out, her legs are far forward, and it looks like Karen doing the Wendy slither. And I crack up every single time I see it.
Now I need to Google Schmoogle it. Take my gay card away. I don't watch Drag Race.
It just kills me. I think of Karen, just Wendy slithering in here. It just cracks me up. But that's all I have for today.
Thanks, Duchess D. Take care. All right. Last but definitely not least, let's try Excommunicado again. Excommunicado, are you there?
Yeah, can you hear me?
Barely, but what did you want to share quickly?
Okay, so quickly, I was just thinking the behavior between Ashley and Stacey was funny about Mauricio, and it kind of made me feel like the whole story that Therese was trying to share the other time about Stacey at the dinner gave a little bit of credence to that. But was I the only person who felt like Wendy was low-key telling Angel to like stand in your bullshit and just fight at that dinner table? Like, stand on your shit, take a stance and fight. Don't let these women see you sweat. I feel like that is what Wendy was trying to tell her. And it makes me feel like Angel kind of left when she went at Wendy earlier, because if she hadn't gotten in the beef with Wendy would have been able to like be a mediator between her and the women in these cases, just like she did with Stacey. But maybe I'm just the only one who thinks that, though.
Okay. Excommunicado, thank you for calling in.
Yeah, bye.
Bye. All right. Let me say, Wave Key says Colorado is gorgeous. Kempire, if you must visit if you love to hike. I do love to hike, so that would be cool to do. Maybe I'll book a Wonderland experience. Only if Bobby is doing the grilling. Just saying. P-Dub says, address it, be frustrated, but there's no reason to be mean. Agreed. Mickey, thank you so much for the super chat. Mickey says, Angel needed to go off. Instead, seemed like she was trying to get out a pre-rehearsed, memorized apology. She should have kicked Jizzy off the plane. I mean, yeah. This is where I love to talk about astrological signs. I'm not surprised at her response. She is a Pisces. You see how Stacey took it on the chin because she's an Aries. They're bosses. I'm not surprised that they have very different reactions to the mean girl behavior that we're watching on this show. And one of the things that keeps standing out to me, anytime you see any of these ladies say that they are a girl's girl, please rest assured, if you're calling yourself a girl's girl, that means probably you're not. Kathy reminds us, she says, it's about respecting and loving our Black people, not tearing them down, and not causing all of this division, which goes beyond colorism. Thank you for being a member. And Miss Esquire says, the goal of colorism is to prop up racism by providing a conduit for some Black people to use the tools of the oppressor. If any day that we should be talking about this, it is today. Happy birthday to Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. Your legacy continues to be the North Star for a lot of us, especially with everything that's happening in the United States right now. I hope that you guys will at least, and it doesn't matter what color you are or where you fall in any group. Everyone, especially white people, more than anyone, that needs to be understanding the goals of Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. But if you're looking for some sort of inspiration, I implore you to listen to many of his speeches when it comes to what we're facing today. It will be very, very inspiring. So thank you to Dr. King. Thank you to his children that continue his grandchildren that continue his legacy. All right. I will see you all during the Married to Medicine recap in about a little bit more than 35 minutes. All right. Everyone have a great rest of your day. Thank you to our King's Guards for holding us down. I know it gets difficult. We got over 2,000 people here, so thank you. Be sure to share love to our King's Guards. Thank you to our channel members. Thank you to our subscribers. Thank you to our looky-loos that are watching in the bushes. We appreciate you as well. Don't forget to like the video. Easy, free way of supporting the channel. And don't forget, you can also hear our recaps and special episodes like we just dropped, our members-only Palm Beach recap. You can now hear it on the podcast, the regular podcast. Go check it out. Subscribe today to the Kempire Podcast. And don't forget, the Kempire After Dark live show comes to New York City March 13th at Green Room 42. You can see me in person. I'm not going to any other cities this year. Sorry, y'all. But there's also a live stream option. So if you can't come in person, you can get a live stream option. So get your tickets today. Ticket information is available in the description. I will see you all in the next one. We're almost at 1,200 likes. Like up the video if you haven't already. Bye, y'all. Thanks so much for watching and for listening. Thanks for tuning in to Kempire here on the Kempire Radio Network. Don't forget to give us 5 stars on Apple Podcasts and on Spotify. And for more information on the podcast, head on over to KempireRadio.com.